And it worked. Yay! What is up, everybody? Music will be a little quiet, but I promise there's music that will come up. It's just a real slow ramp up. What a week. I've been busy as shit. I know, Allie, you've been busier now.
A little bit.
A little bit? Yeah, we gotta talk about all your goodness. You want to tell everybody what you're doing while you're busy now? Might as well start with that, right?
We can do that. Yeah. So I'm going to be GMing on the Norse Foundry Network starting in mid-October with a about 6-episode run of a Bloodlines and Black Magic game. So we are in the casting process right now. So I have the
most difficult time. The old good old casting. No one believes me that casting is the hardest part of the show.
Oh, yeah.
It is 100% the hardest thing to do. I mean, I got lucky with this because I knew half the people out of the gate, but like doing the one for Norse Foundry was gruff. And I'm casting for another company's Twitch stream, and it is not fun. Oh, look who's joining us from work.
Look at those crying faces.
If you make it, Drew, to be okay. Hey, it's okay. I will tell everybody this. So I've been working with Streamloots pretty good amount. They're really cool, and partners get roundtable discussions. And Allie has been playing with Streamloots too, which is pretty awesome. So they gave me this for everybody. Under Streamloots Ethauntia, if you buy cards right now and you use a gift for a friend, you get 10% off your order. I think it's only good for like 2 weeks. But they gave it to me as like a, hey, if people are going to buy a bunch of stuff for your show, cool. What else can I tell you about this month? We, as a show, they changed a bunch of stuff for the better on Streamloots. If you go look at the Streamloots page now, and you're looking at the public page, remember how you can gift subs to the community? You can now gift cards to the community. So as long as somebody has used a card or purchased a pack before, even if they're not... even if they're not currently on, it will send out cards to anyone when you buy packs, which I thought was super fucking cool. And then on top of that, on the back end for people who are producing the content ourselves, on the dashboard, they talk about all the crazy stuff. So we are now part of Streamloots team for Streamloots on Twitch, so we're not part of their team. So anyone who goes to their team page, we are one of the people who will be showing, which is dope. They have partner milestones this month. So basically, if we hit certain goals, they are paying out bonus to us because September is widely known as the hardest stream month. It's just people going back to school, people going back to college. Like, it's just a fucking nightmare. So basically, the way it works is there's a first, second, and third milestone. And once you get them, they are tacking on an extra cut to the team, which is awesome. And then, because they fucking just going deep, we currently are in the top 50% of the division. We're considered the Crystal Division. We have 9 days. If we hit the first one, they give the team... I think the team gets like a custom hoodie for being in the titanium section. I don't know if that's going to happen this month for us. It would be dope. But they have different division rankings. So there are 2 more ahead of us. There's a carbon and a titanium. And then the titanium one, they have a new titanium hoodie with on the sleeve. It's just their way of like helping people learn how to do sales. But the cool thing is they're finally going to make a video on how Streamloots works with an ad. So you can put it in your damn channel. So you don't always have to teach people when you start up the show, actually, what Streamloots is. So that's all pretty cool. We have new cards coming for Friday's show. Like the ability to summon the Tide Runner. That's going to be a new card. That'll be a power for the Lantern. Not looking forward to that. I already know what's going to happen. I can see it getting summoned into building immediately. Or another, something along those lines. But it can take it to any realm of existence, any plane of existence. It can take it there. And then, is there anything else new from me? I can't show dice yet. I really want to, but I can talk about how awesome they are. The team has seen them.
They look super good. They look super good. I can't wait.
They're perfect.
Yeah, it only took her, what, Allie, 2 tries to get it right? 3 tries to get it right? Like, first time I was like, ooh, that's close. Second try I was like, oh, that's really close. Third try I was like, nope, that's it. Stop. Don't do anything else. And they look awesome. I will say that they do have the monogram on them, which is what I was super excited. I did not know if the little bit of complexity that our monogram has could fit. But we have some special stuff going on with that. Those will be a pre-order item, and then once the pre-order is done, we won't have those anymore. We may do another season, another color, but that's all we'll have for this season. I don't have a price point. I don't have any answers like that yet. What else can we talk about? Kelly got a new box set.
I did. Let me scroll off screen to grab it real quick.
She went in and she got herself something large.
Well, it's much like last year this time when I had mentioned that my friends had picked up the Art and Arcana book for me for Dungeons and Dragons. It was the same friends who got me the Curse of Strahd revamped.
Oh,
It's ginormous.
It is
awesome.
Gigantic. It's very heavy. Look at Strahd just sitting, chilling,
Just pimping.
just pimping.
Have you
throwing some cards on the ground.
Have you seen the memes of Nandor from What We Do in the Shadows as Strahd? It is. I would 100. I don't know if I could run it. I mean, I love What We Do in the Shadows. I don't know if I could do it the justice it deserves. But my God, could you imagine playing a Ravenloft like What We Do in the Shadows?
I would
Documentary
hit
crew.
that subscribe. I would hit that subscribe button so fast. I would hit that let me audition button so fast.
I don't know. So here's the thing. The way that they put the humor together in that show, I think it'd be really hard to improv that. Like, you could have guidelines to your character. Like, these are the things they do. Like, if you're the what is it, the energy vampire, like, you could have guidelines of things you could do. But I think you'd almost have to cast people who are naturally similar to their character to be able to improv that properly. It'd be tough. I think it'd be a great adventure through that. I should talk to people.
Just picturing Van Richten busting through a window, landing in Nandor's throne room. Nandor's just like, this fucking guy.
Right, yeah, exactly. And like, the whole thing would be Nandor, Strahd. I don't think any of the other characters would make an appearance right away. Maybe it's like all precursor. Who knows? Or it's Nandor GMing D&D and he's Strahd. I was dying when I saw that meme and I was like, man, I want that as a shirt.
Oh, yeah, and Colin Robinson's the rules lawyer.
Well, Van Richten has to be Guillermo then.
Sorry, Allie.
It has to be Guillermo.
We're down to 2 cast members because we just killed Allie in real life.
Oh my God. I think it'd be sweet. I'm super excited. But that's going on. What else can we talk about? There was a bunch of other shit that was going on. Secrets of Magic is fucking amazing if you're a spellcaster. I love it.
That's what I've heard.
It has all of the things in it. Drew immediately glammed onto the craft your own staff. So his Nexus staff archetype is now stacked with make your own staff archetype, or not archetype, rules. And our last side quest episode was him getting parts for it, which is, I know that's what he went to do, but that's actually not what the side quest is about. Sorry, Drew. It wasn't. I forced some exposition in that shit.
Kelly, are you trying to re-kill me? Re-kill me dead?
Maybe. Maybe.
And what else did we have here? Oh, I was going to go over numbers. So Gales, you guys have spent 12,624 of 13,750 in our town halls as of the 10th. We have a lot of squalls, though. We've only spent 19,110 out of 44,320. Now, I don't know how much Drew is going to abuse out of that pool yet. I don't know what he did. That might be partially drained. I think he's also going to use some souls as currency too. Hero points, though.
I think I pulled like 5,000.
Yeah, we're getting into some tight situations for the hero points. Nora's at 35 of 43. Everston, don't worry about him. He has enough.
Don't worry about Everston. He's got enough.
He's got like 29 of 54. But Foxglove is at 28 of 32.
Now, these numbers you're giving, the first number, is that how many
have been used?
How many used out of that total?
Counting up.
So it's
counting up. The reason I did it that way because it's easier to cut and paste tallies from Streamloots.
As the party's rogue on a salary / Swiss Army knife, I have to spend my hero points.
Mm-hmm. And Voss is
you
at
get
38
shit
to
done.
47. So he's actually crushed a lot of his this season. He spent the most this season. Last season, the most spent was Oliver.
Well,
Oliver had one hero point going into the season finale, and then
to be fair,
he made a lot of mistakes.
he needed a lot of hero points to correct his mistakes. Yes.
Some people live by luck, and he was that person. Oliver was not Alan, but Oliver. Is there anything else? Ghostlands. So I saw Ghostlands. I apologize. I saw Ghostlands. It was for rent on Amazon. And I was like, man, I really liked Mandy. This should be pretty good. I was avoiding the reviews, like the 2-star reviews and shit like that, because most people rate horror movies poorly, short of Candyman, which apparently is a 5-star movie right now. I think that's nostalgia, but we'll see. So we queued it up to watch it, and some people showed up, and Drew promptly left in the middle of it because it was so fucking bad. Todd, would you say that movie was a 1/2 star?
That's generous, but yeah, okay.
So 1 out of 5 tiny wines.
Ooh, no.
No, not even.
I don't even think the tiny wines are on the screen yet.
Oh.
It is really bad.
It was really bad.
Really, it's like a cowboy. You know how like samurai westerns or that kind of thing where it's like, ooh, cowboys and samurai, and it was like that. If it wasn't, it was more like a nuclear fallout meets, what was it called? Samurai Town? Is that what they named it? Samurai Town? Fucking, it was so fucking bad.
This sounds like an actual Fallout game.
It looked like a Fallout game.
Fallout.
We said that.
Right down to rusty football helmet armor. Like
So
everything.
there's a scene where Nick Cage is the male and female lead are walking towards you, and you're like, oh my god, this looks like Fallout. But it was like Fallout 76 when it launched bad.
Oh.
It was just an atrocity. I can't even explain how fucking shitty it was. So that was my mistake.
So, how would it compare to, say, like Miami Connection?
Oh no, that's still worse.
No.
Just on principle?
Miami
Are we doing
Connection
it for-
has a
are we saying
plot.
that for
It
the
has
meme?
people giving their all. Like this one was just like, let's do some really cool shots. Like
Yeah,
great
visually it looked
cinematography.
okay.
It was a visual smorgasbord, but
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. There's no plot.
It's like
to speak of.
those cakes that look really, really good. Like they're really well crafted, super detailed, and then you eat it, and it's just like this tastes like cardboard.
Oh no!
It's like those cookies with the pink frosting and the sprinkles that some people really love and other people know they taste like garbage.
Okay.
Oh, what are
My
those
favorite
animal
cookies is
crackers?
what I
The
just heard you
Pepto-Bismol
describe.
animal crackers? Those?
Sorry.
That's
Is that
okay.
I
I
love
gotta be
Pepto-Bismol
in the
animal
mood.
crackers. Those are my
gotta be in
favorite.
the
Division
mood.
this week about cookies, then last week about inner monologues. Okay. Not last week, last episode.
No, I mean, I would compare them to circus peanuts.
Ugh.
And see, my mom.
A
My
pretty
mom
bright
loves,
color tastes like
My mom-
garbage.
My mom loves circus peanuts, and that has been passed down to me.
Oh.
Kelly, what?
I don't eat them often, but
do you
what I
also
do.
eat styrofoam?
I mean, if styrofoam was made out of sugar and you could squish it down to like compress it where it's like super hard and you can almost break your teeth, yes.
Oh my
'Cause that's what I
God,
do when
so-
I actually have them.
Well, hold on. So circus peanuts is just a toy. That's acceptable. It's
Well, now
just
I
a
know
toy.
what's fueling all these murderous tendencies in the game. It's just eating
circus
these
peanuts and
awful,
Pepto
awful
cookies. Oh God, it's so bad. It's so fucking
No, that's-
bad.
The reason the murderous tendencies are coming out is because I don't eat them anymore, Todd, because I know they're bad for you.
Oh, we should get
Get
you
an outlet.
some more of those because apparently that shit is
It's like those
ruining
commercials
you.
where they got to feed somebody a Snickers. Like,
Snickers.
like Kelly's urge to kill is rising. Toss her a circus peanut.
Todd's there's some styrofoam with some sugar. Call it a circus peanut.
right.
I do want to recognize the fact that you just referred to those cookies as Pepto cookies.
Yeah.
I don't want to gloss over that.
Yeah, that's what they look like. They look like Pepto-Bismol.
They do look like Pepto-Bismol, yes.
Pepto-Bismol is a color. It's not a flavor.
Fair.
Like, I mean, this is pink. All right. Pepto-Bismol is its own color. Everyone knows it. You see that and you go, that's Pepto-Bismol pink.
I just think of like Ghostbusters, like the stuff from Ghostbusters too.
Oh,
Yup.
It was
so
just
oh God. Yeah, I don't know. I think it looks like that. I actually do like those cookies once in a while, but you have like 2 of them and then you realize that was enough. Yep. So
yeah.
I don't know if take that as you will, but yeah, man, it was crazy. So I'm trying to think if there's any other news anyone can think about here. Anything else we didn't talk about? We talked about Kelly's Ravenloft box sex, as it kept telling us in chat. Box sex. I was laughing so hard.
Autocorrect. Effing me up every day, all day, every day.
I was grilling and I looked down. I was like, box sex? What the fuck is that?
I typed in box set and it said set. And I finished typing out the rest of the sentence on my phone. And then I see it and I'm like, box sex? I mean, if this was like a Vampire the Masquerade box set, then yes.
That's okay. Just before that, Eric mentioned about, we'll talk to Drew, but we'll see if his onions are vastly different. We can revisit it. I think he meant opinions, but opinions on his onions, like, that's great.
Yep, I was grilling onions
different today, Drew.
Google was listening to the sound of sizzling and just changed it. Ogre Force this weekend. We'll probably say this again at the end of the show, but for the people who are here, Ogre Force episode 2, you guys did the stream loot cards. It's coming out. Hopefully during this live show, our occult shirt gets updated and that will be live as well. I had to do a change yesterday and I'm suffering for it. So we're going to be doing it Sunday, August 26th, 6:30 p.m. I know it's an hour sooner than normal, but people have to work Mondays. I don't want to make it super late. I kind of want to get a nice little tight frame and play some Ogre Force. Adam Kahn will be back joining us to play Ogre Force on Sunday, which will be a riot. If you missed the first episode, it is now up on our YouTube. The link is down below. And I haven't had that much fun gaming since, like, I don't even know. Probably playing Punk Apocalyptic on the bridge when you guys were trying to get in and Zach and Kelly decided to put leprosy on meat vegetables, aka jerky, and hand them out to kill everyone in the city so that they could go through it freely. When my brain broke during that, I was like, yeah, that was kind of how it felt running Ogre Force. Absolute fucking just chaos.
Except without the human flesh and leprosy. Yeah. So Allie, if you need someone to play Dark,
Jesus Christ.
Oh yeah.
So and Allie gets to do finger guns on that show, and I don't have to yell at her.
Yeah, you need someone who can play a dark character. Go to Kelly Vanta Black Dawson. She will get you what you need.
It's funny because I love playing dark stuff, but Kelly and I only get to play together once in a great while. But our dark characters together is very bad for everyone at the table. Don't let us play in a Blades game together. Just don't do it.
No.
So
don't do it.
No, I was saying, Allie, you get to even do finger guns and not get yelled at during that show because you have a spell that is finger guns. You have an item. You paid an item that lets you do finger guns that shoot like magic missiles. It's bullshit.
Oh yeah, I'm here for it.
Yeah, you're the only. Well, no, actually, everybody is. So those cards will go up. I might do a discount for the cards for Sunday for that. If people still have Ogre Force, I think it's gonna be a series we keep bringing back and running. It's a nice break for the cast just to play something fucking wild. And then, tonight's going to be, it might get a little sinister depending on how you guys handle stuff. No Voss here. I'm worried that you don't have your spirit Federer with you tonight.
GM can't kill you if you're not here to play.
That is not true.
That is not true.
I will actually, when he missed the last show doing the same thing he's out working. Everyone wonder where Voss is. He's working right now, putting in those extra hours before he leaves for his wedding and then going on his honeymoon for a couple weeks and all that shit. So he's putting them extra hours in. He may join us tonight if he gets home early, but I'm not going to put any hopes on it because last night, when did he pop on? Like fucking 11? when we were watching Shitland?
I think so. Well, we didn't start that till 11.
Oh, no, like 12 then. I don't think he was on to like 12 something. So we probably won't see him, but you know, who knows? He might get out early.
He was smart. He left early. He didn't watch the rest of it.
That's what it sounds like.
Yeah, it was bad. It was bad. It was really, really bad. But other than that, for everyone who's here, it's Kelly's birthday.
Yay!
Happy birthday, Kelly.
Thank you.
That's
the reason I got that big box set.
Box sex?
Yes, box
sex. I mean, dude,
So
it is.
like, happy birthday.
Do they deliver the Pepto cookies?
Oh my God, no. They don't, and I don't want her eating them on camera. I know how this will go.
Insomnia cookies.
That's
Just
exactly what I was thinking. We have a place out here.
Do
you guys have insomnia cookies by you? Do you have insomnia cookies? Okay, yeah. There's one that is literally a block away from me.
Amazing.
No.
I will say
No, it's not amazing. It's dangerous.
No, it's bad for us.
I got really disappointed because last year during the holidays, I get cookies like maybe once a year. Like I get insomnia cookies maybe once or twice a year.
Depends how drunk I am that week.
One of their seasonal flavors was like, it was like something like hot cinnamon, and I was like, oh, that sounds really nice. You know, it's winter out, something that's nice and like maybe like a spicier snickerdoodle. That sounds amazing. It was Fireball. It was Fireball flavored cookies.
Oh.
They tasted like plastic. They were garbage. I hated them so much.
Oh, gross. Nobody wants that shit.
Nope. But
That
hey,
is
insomnia's got
disgusting.
'em.
All right. Well, with that said, we will move on to our show tonight. Again, everybody, if you're new to the show or you're watching this at a later date, YouTube Stream Loot cards won't do anything for you. But for us tonight, Stream Loot cards do stuff. We're low on points. There's some cards in there that change things live during the show, like the Prith card will actually change him big if we get another 2 of those, I think. Those 2 years will put him in a time frame where he goes up a category, which scares the living fuck out of me. There is stuff for the Tide Runner, which will become important since they're going to be on the Tide Runner for the rest of the season as we're handling some stuff. We've extended our season, a few more episodes, and then the Stream Loot cards you can play whenever you want during the show. Yeah, like the Gray Lotus. That's another one. Oh no, it didn't work. Stream Loot. Ethauntia. If I can spell.
Is it Stream Loots?
No, I did it wrong. Yeah, it's that one. But it's not putting that's the patch. Happy anniversary of your great emergence. Yeah, sure. That word.
Thank you.
Yeah. There we go.
Random.
There we go. That has a discount code on it. It's 10% off. I didn't do that. Streamloots is doing it for us, which is super cool. So, yeah, there are some cards in here tonight. That's what I was going to tell everybody before we leave. There are some cards in here tonight that we will need here tonight and into Friday's show. The Power of Nero card is active again. The Cannonball card is active again because we are out. We did spend them all. And then the card we are still looking for, which nobody has played yet, I'm shocked by. There is a Flame Inquisitor card, which is huge. If that Flame Inquisitor card gets played, that is a very big deal while we are in Cadra. If you have watched the rest of the season, you might be able to add another Bathysphere. Nice. You might be able to add together why it is. It's a pretty big deal. And then what else is missing? There's one other one that was super important. There is Special Agent. The Special Agent card gets played. That is super important as well. It takes 2 fragments. Somebody is sitting on the Special Agent somewhere out here. Someone has it. There's a completed version of it, but they have not played it yet, which scares me because it's probably Kelly.
No, it's not me. It's actually not me.
It's not you? The attack card?
I was going to say it's Amir.
I don't know. Is Amir even here? I don't know if Amir's here yet.
He might not be.
I was delaying. But yeah, so the special agent is huge to this season. I would love to see him before the end of the season. I mean, I wanted Ruta Oak to happen last season, but we didn't get him till halfway through this season. And the Inquisitor one will be very important. It will change something in the next 2 episodes. I guess that's what I'll say. 2 episodes. So yeah. Get them together. There's new cards coming out. I have 10 new cards for this Friday, too. Oh, there's some cards getting retired as well. The Ever-Ready Arsenals are going to get put on hold.
You've got so many.
Yeah, I was going to say, there's a lot.
They're going to get put on hold, but they're getting put on hold for something awesome. And then there is a new Gales card coming out for 2,000 Gales. There is... a series of rail vehicles coming out that are specific rail vehicles for this Friday, which is pretty cool. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different magical item cards. And there's spell cards. I don't know if anyone noticed that. Did you guys notice that there's a spell card now?
Spell card, yeah.
Yeah. That spell card gives a new spell that can go to any spellcaster in the group, which will be pretty sweet. So, because we have 2 spellcasters right now.
I mean, like a new spell is in something they don't know already? Is that
correct? Something they don't know already, or a scroll if they want a casting of a scroll. Like it's something they already know and they want a scroll of it. I'm fine with that as well. But and then there are pre-sundering spells and items coming out as well. So like all your crazy shit, like rituals for like group teleportation and stuff like that, are going to be in a chart for things. For those who don't know, there's spells that have been lost for quite some time. Like the fact that Lillian can Dimension Door is illegal. Mm-hmm. But when your patron's a special individual, shit happens. But anyway, we chatted a little longer than normal. That's okay. We're missing Voss. It's all right. We're stalling for him in hopes that his lovely black feathered beak shows up. But yeah, that's it. That is it from us. There's a lot of crazy new cards that are in there. I'd say look through your deck if you haven't seen all the new stuff. At the very top, I believe you can sort by when they were released if you want to see the new cards. And again, don't forget that while you can give away gift subs, which is dope, they now have it to where you can give away cards in the community. When you're looking at your public page, there's a little give packs to the community. And you can do the same thing you do for giving subs. You can give packs out, which is super cool. And it gives people packs who maybe are here for the show all the time but can't do it. So I'm ready if y'all are. Let's do our lovely intro that I don't see enough of, to be honest. So we'll be back with you in 2 minutes. We're gonna run this intro and we're gonna dive into episode 12, which is called End of the Line. Be back in 2 minutes and something seconds. Did it work? I'm not muted. It worked this time. Don't ask everybody. If you're a regular, you know. So welcome to Ethauntia Dark Tides, episode 12, End of the Line. If you saw our last episode, we had split the party for most of the episode and did bouncing back and forth as Foxglove was part of the Midnight Gala, or the Warriors Gala, between the Court of Night and the Court of Summer. And they were, I guess you would say, renegotiating the treaty and rights to who owns the current time. And if one side wins, it would be more daylight than night. And if the other side wins, it'd be more night than day. If they come to a truce, things stay like they are and cycle. And 57 years ago, when everything went awry and all the waters were taken away during the Sundering, the Court of Night had won. And they won for a few years where everything was black. Now, regular civilians and citizens didn't know that, but that's what had happened. And we put Foxglove square in the fucking middle of it. But she was there for totally different reasons. She wasn't there for anything that had to do with that treaty. And she had tried to help a gentleman named Francis out of a particular situation due to a fettered or cursed item, a relic that they had. One thing led to another, and she ended up getting pulled through into the Timeless Sands, and the group, finding her body on the ground, half through a portal, sand all around her, and a Sandman had dragged her through. They decided we should do something about this. So they went through as well. Everything went well. I mean, honestly, Lillian figured out what to do. She turned down the okay to become something and do something. And she did not travel with a certain individual that said they could get her out of it. She did speak with her patron, which some people on this show, I think, know who Baroness Brass is. Meanwhile, the rest of the group came through. People are yelling on my ear that it's not their fault, but the person who says that is always their fault. So when they got everything together and the team came through to save her, they ended up fighting these oversized sandworms, these timeless sandworms. And I thought it was going to be a fight. Francis would beat the shit. I thought it was going to go south. And it didn't. The crew handled it totally fine. Drew used one spell, or Voss used one spell to pin down one of my sandworms, as they were all trying to vacate as quickly as they could back through the portal. They got up and running. Realizing they left Francis behind, Everston, I believe, went back in to get him and found him beaten, battered, but still alive as his last string on his lute broke. And they crawled into the same cave that Bartleby had hidden in. That's kind of where we left everything. So, hey everybody, we're gonna hope this turns out well. Some big events happened on our last Friday show, everyone, which I will bring in. But first, I want to know what Everston is going to be doing with Francis hiding in this cave. You don't need food and water, but he does. And the rest of the team isn't here. And you killed Foxglove to make her a Gravelighter. Was not expecting how I thought she was going to get inducted. At all.
Yeah, I kind of just railroaded myself into doing it.
I mean, I just like that everyone pointed out that you had a War Lantern. That was my favorite part, that you could just stab her with a War Lantern. That was the catch here. Let me just put this little thing here. You just stab her with the bottom end. If
there's a way you're gonna go.
If you're gonna do it, go out in style. I get stabbed by a War Lantern. So you got that done. And
now available for purchase.
They are. That is true. It is available for purchase. Did you crawl back into the cave with Francis to hide? Where is the rest of the team right now? Does Everston know where they are?
They're all in the lantern.
Yeah, we're on the lantern.
Okay. For a while, right?
For at least for a while, yeah.
Okay. But you have not figured out how you're getting out of here.
I have not.
Because you can't kill him and make him a Gravelighter. Sorry, that was kind of a one-trick pony, and you've done that trick twice now.
Yeah.
You also made a spirit a Gravelighter. So, you can talk to people in there. You can talk to the cast. You can, or, to the crew, the Gravelighters. You can touch the lantern. You can get ideas. They can maybe come back out, but you need at least a day before they're allowed back out. Is there anything you're going to do, or do you have a plan? I guess that's probably what we should go with. Do you have a plan now that you're in the back of a cave with a super injured individual? There's some talks of potions of healing. Ooh, we got a treasure roll. Treasure roll. I'll mark that. We'll do that during intermission.
I wrote down, please don't be cursed.
Yeah, I saw. No promises.
Yeah, I know.
No promises.
I can hope.
So what is Everson doing? And you can talk to the cast freely right now. Totally fine.
Besides just going back and getting him, because I felt super guilty. As soon as you said it, it's like, and you leave friends behind. I'm like, oh no, what have I done?
I know.
I felt so bad.
So did Allie. Allie ate all of her fingernails.
I did. They're growing back.
They're growing back. She's like, oh my God, what is going on? I like how tied to Francis you were, and you barely knew the guy.
I'm just because I'm a professional widow does not mean that I'm not a softie.
That's hilarious. Since snakes
He
are your
could
favorite
be the
thing.
next one. You never know.
He could be the next one. Exactly. That's what I was going to say.
Always need a new mark.
I have a question.
Uh-huh.
If I'm dead, am I still a widow?
Asking the tough question.
Yes, because you die a widow.
Yeah, you die a widow. Yeah, that's true. Because they will put widow on your tombstone. But technically, you're not dead because you will come back in X amount of days.
Yeah.
Which we rolled the days, too.
I thought it was 4.
I'm looking here.
I think someone in chat rolled a D10 and it was 4.
Yeah,
Maybe
but there's an addition to it, so... +1, so 5 days. 5 days. 5 days and she'll be back. It's pretty good. Liches are weeks. But that means you'd be in there.
Days.
No, demi-liches are days. Regular liches, I believe, are weeks. Oh, I don't know. PF2 might be different now. That's a very good question. I'll look it up while we're talking. So, what are you doing? What is the cast talking about? What's the crew talking about? I mean, you're all Gravelighters. But what are you talking about?
Yeah, I mean, we'll probably communicate through the lantern. Like,
so, I'm here with Francis. I didn't think beyond that. I'd like to consult the 3 thinkers.
Do you have any medical training whatsoever, Everson?
Oh. Does bludgeon and break count as medical?
I have a very good bonus to medicine, but I am not technically trained, and I can't do any of the trained parts of medicine.
Okay. I told you before, he needs magical healing, like severe magical healing.
Well, because we had given him magical healing, and then we all got sucked in the lantern, and that undid
it wasn't
the
enough for
magical
him.
healing we gave him.
Yeah, it wasn't enough for him to walk or anything.
I can use the lantern to heal him, right?
You could use that 100%. 100% could do that. Someone's remembering their magical items.
Yeah. I don't know how many dice we have available, though. I
I
burned
do.
a lot.
I do. Don't you worry. Don't you worry. I have it. It's in the paper doc. I'll tell you right now. I think it's 12. I think that's what it got boosted back up to after last Friday.
So it says current, I think, is 10.
It's 10 or 12. Healing
in the
wave.
doc it says 10.
Yep, 10.
Out of 40.
Yep, 10. You're at 10 right now.
And it'll always have 2, right? Each day it'll generate 2 if it had none.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just any above and beyond that are from stream.
Uh-huh. Yeah, because the last show we didn't get anything extra. There was no
I should use
healing
a few of them.
waves.
Or what? What does the group think? Should I Should I use some of those to get him operational, functioning, walking? Or at least partway there?
My only concern would be, I mean, I wouldn't think it would draw the attention of those creatures, but on the off chance it did. Did you see any when you found him? Because I don't quite remember if you guys just ran right into the cave like to escape them, or if you found him and was just like, well, we're gonna hide out here till I can go back in. Like, I wasn't.
I think I brought him straight into the cave. I don't.
You did.
I just rewatched it today. You think I'd remember?
You did.
Okay.
So, I mean, that would be my only concern, is if it were to draw the attention of those creatures towards you.
They added a button that said to go to old design. I love you, Streamloots. God damn, you guys rock. Anyway. Makes me super happy. I'm like looking at the dates for like when the last card was spent, and I couldn't find it. Because it's like 14 days ago, 16 days ago. It doesn't give you a date. But yes, as of the 10th, it would be at 11 cards right now. So we'll fix that. So yeah, you guys could do that. Anyway, sorry. I was trying to find that information for you. Healing wave?
I suppose so. I'd like to get the input of everyone, though, before I just blast away. I've been making too many harsh decisions thinking that, like, I'm holding the lantern, I can do this.
Voss
I'm not asking...
Voss says healing wave. You even put it in chat. Healing wave. Yes, do it. Size 2.
Like I said, my only concern is if it draws the attention of those timeless sandworms again. Yeah. But if there's none there, and it's not going to, then by all means, go ahead.
No,
I would hate for you to.
There's one sleeping outside the cave.
Oh, no, yeah. See, I would hate for you to do it and then have it be undone because it powers, burrows in to eat the snack.
Yep. It did hit the cave and stop, so it didn't seem to have the ability to crush its way through the stone. They seem to only be able to move through the sand itself. And he's in a stone cave, or they are. Casil would say, I don't think that using that would be bad. If the gentleman is of use and he is a living person, our job as Gravelighters is to just bring the wandering spirits in, and the man is not dead, so I think that it would be our due diligence to heal him. Unless you need those for undead that are near you, then of course abolishing undead is more important. And then he would turn and look to the newest person who, like, the whole you have like a faint glowing scar wherever you got. Where did you stab her, through the chest? Mm-hmm. So she has a faint glowing scar that an amulet is slowly forming of the Gravelighter symbol and like solidifying, because everybody either has like a band, a ring, or whatever it may be. You seem to wear a lot of necklaces and talismans, so I will say it takes form in a talisman of the skull for the Gravelighter. And he looks at you and goes, "Is this the newest admittance? A joiner?" And Todd, you can see everybody inside. Like when you look in the lantern, you can kind of pull back and zoom into where they are. Like you can sift through the souls that are in it and pull souls to the surface. I see them kind of distorted and bubbled, like you're looking through a convex lens. Convex? Yeah, convex. Convex is this way. Concave is this way. But he says,
I'm watching a Star Wars hologram.
Yes, yeah, kind of. Except spirits moving around. There's certain dice that are coming out that might help with this vision, but
soon trademark.
Yep.
I think Lillian is probably just kind of like, so I'm dead.
Oh,
temporarily.
And he pulls out a pocket watch. And he looks at it, and his has the skull in it. Casil does, and goes, "Yes, for 5 days. But the time moves very quickly here, so by the time we leave, you should be fine."
Interesting.
Oh, you'll be brought back. You won't be like me.
You'll be like me, except you.
Yeah, but not an abandoned.
Well,
you
that's
won't be
that's
Thomas either. You'll be reconstituted, rejuvenated,
I'll take it.
resurrected. But he like looks you over. What's your constitution bonus?
My con bonus is going to be 2 + 2.
Okay, so you'll get to do that twice, he says. A couple of times is all you're going to get. After that, you're stuck in here.
Got it.
I'm out of them, so hence the spirit only.
Your name is?
My name is Casil Vondro. I'm a elven knight. I joined the Gravelighters as a phantom a few weeks ago now.
Yeah, lovely to meet you. With a foxglove.
But back to the dying man. Yes.
That's
what, healing wave. Heal him. Use the lantern.
Like
Unless you can patch him up manually. I don't think you're Nora, but you could try. Voss is even here. No, healing wave. Just imagining the big 3-fingered hands that he's built on you, and you trying to fix a person just seems very bad without training.
Yeah, I feel like you don't have the little implants that pop out of your large fingers to do the delicate surgeries. So.
So essentially, where they're at right
Note
now.
to self.
The sandworms can't actually get in because it's stone.
But this man will starve to death.
Okay.
If he doesn't bleed out first.
So I believe that Bartleby is also with them in the cave. Is that correct?
Oh no, you died.
No, our familiars came with us.
Okay.
Yep, one and the same.
Okay.
What about others in the lantern?
Oh, you mean the fact that it's wall to wall, packed, lines of people coming out of the river of Styx, and an inquisitor using some form of magic saying, you, that building, you, wait over here? That part?
Well, I was just going to say, is there any way for any of the spirits to exit since the Gravelighters can't? Like, Nero and Loretta can't?
Nero and Loretta can come out, yes, but they are pretty preoccupied, so you're only going to get one of the two. So
would
whichever one you want.
Would they be able to bring something with them from in the lantern, like medical supplies or food?
No, only a Gravelighter can.
And they're all occupied. But I can go in and out, right?
You can go in and out. It takes you an hour.
But I'm an hour. I have to leave here.
Yep.
Would I be able to bring anything out with me then?
Yeah, absolutely. You're a Gravelighter.
Okay.
Like if somebody, if Nora handed you a potion of healing, and then you came out, you'd have it. But also, he will probably be dead.
So what I'm thinking is that you do the healing wave.
Healing wave, right?
Stabilize him, patch him up, and then, I mean, after a certain period of time, either you come back in or one of us come back out with food. But the most important thing right now is to stabilize them. People can survive without food and water for a bit.
Yep. You could search the cave for stuff as well.
There might be something to forage, yes. Like if
Survival.
Survival or maybe nature as a knowledge check, recall.
I think survival is how you scavenge
Probably
for food.
Survival, yeah.
I got a good
I was
chance
thinking
of
more
doing
to
that then.
see,
Okay,
like-
I'll.
It was safe to eat.
How many
Yep.
dice should I burn?
Up to you.
Healing wave.
Up to you. You guys have not used it enough to know how it functions yet, actually. You know that it heals, and you know that it hurts undead really bad. That is about all you know about how the lantern works for the purpose of healing wave. How many you want to use?
How many to use? I don't.
Yeah,
I feel like
we always get more.
overstepping if I said any amount. So
I think
tell me.
I'd say 3 to 5.
Yeah, anywhere in there,
Okay.
I would.
Because that way,
That sound good?
I feel like it's a decent amount, and if it turns out it's not, you'll at least have a good tester to see if that would attract attention.
Okay. How much do you want to hit Francis with?
I rolled a die to decide. So I guess we'll do 3.
The good, the good old Jamie decider.
Try to let the dice.
I don't want to make this decision. I'll have the dice do it.
You can't blame me. You blame the dice.
So on 3d6, I rolled 10.
All right. So some of the wounds seal up, but you can see his face is still caved in. His legs are messed up. His arm is still messed up. It has not repaired broken bones, but it has definitely stopped the bleeding. So he's stable. He's not gonna be able to walk anywhere. He's not gonna do anything like that. Emotional HP. Hilarious. Hilarious. So up to you. You wanna go forage for food? You can. Leave him here by himself. Up to you how you want to do this.
That should stabilize you. Please rest here. I am going to explore the cave to see if I can find some supplies for you before we're able to get them out of the lantern.
Yeah. What happened to Lillian? Is she okay?
She will be.
She will be. Is she in here? And he like starts to stir to like get up.
Not in the cave.
Wow,
I mean,
like he
technically
takes
in
his
the cave,
loot,
but just
props himself up. Is she okay? Is she in here? Does she? I can't really heal again until tomorrow.
just rest. Just rest. I'll look for something for you to eat if there's anything here. We can get supplies in a few days.
Food would be great. I can help. I'm pretty good at surviving. Maybe I can help find something. I can't move very fast. He like starts trying to get up again and like using the loot to stand, and he like leans against the wall.
Insist you stay still.
Give me a
I am
persuasion.
no medical professional, but I have watched Nora Tenwick do this countless times.
Have you? Because she does it in like 6 seconds. It's
That's how
absolute
he's seen me do it
nonsense.
countless times.
She's like,
You're healed.
oh, hey, look at this hand. Look at this hand. You're healed. Like it is exactly what it's like.
He tries that, it doesn't work.
Oh, what the fuck? What the fuck she does? She's like, and you're healed. But my leg was broken. It's not anymore. Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it.
So yeah, if you are going to tell him to stay there, he's pretty determined to come with. I would need a persuasion for you, or intimidate, your choice. Either one's fair. Intimidate. Let me state this to the audience: intimidate doesn't have to be an evil action. Everyone thinks it's evil. It's not. Sometimes you just got to use a harsh tone to make people do what you want. Persuasion is like, no, you could get injured.
It's built right into intimidation in this.
In PM2?
It's coerce. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
With threats either veiled or overt, you attempt to bully a creature into doing what you want, and then you talk to him for like a minute, and then either do it or don't, and then they I think it's a day that it lasts or something like that. It's a good long time.
Yeah.
It's like, but I don't want to be a dick to him. I want to just diplomatize.
Okay.
Which is the same bonus for me, abysmal.
As your giant robot friend, I'm going to ask you kindly.
15.
Sit still, don't make me kill you, boy. What? 15? He's like, I'm injured, but I'm not dead. He looks around, he goes, do you have light? I'm assuming you turn the lantern down. So it's not a 60-foot burst of light right now. That's up to you. That is my assumption. Correct me if I am wrong.
No, I wouldn't have it that high.
Okay. So what would you have it at? Dial down like 10, 15 foot kind of thing? Okay.
Yeah.
So he says, if you turn it up some from here, my eyes are good. I can see in the dark pretty well, but I might be able to help a little bit with searching for stuff. I'm not going to sit here and just wait for food. That's not. It's not how I work. It's not how I work. So let me at least help you.
This guy would be better off if he was dead. I could help him a lot easier.
Yeah,
Wow.
here, anyway. Lantern. Get in line. Get your number at the DMV.
Be glad I don't play evil characters, everyone.
I mean, I don't know. I love evil characters.
I don't see what the problem here is, Todd.
So, you go searching. He does try to follow. He does not listen to you. And what I just realized is I don't have dice out, which is blasphemy. I know. But I don't have dice out. There's D20. I'll get this.
Who are you?
I haven't rolled this one because it came with Xanathar. So he gets up, puts his loot under him, puts all of his weight on the loot, and he takes the extender out for like at the bottom of it for like doing He has it setting on like a table or something to play. And he starts using it as a cane and starts slowly at 5-foot strides following you.
This guy is so resilient.
So I like the fact that I actually gave him a sword cane, and he is using his broken loot instead.
You did give him a sword cane. Do you know where it is? Out in sand right now.
Well, I gave him my cheap one.
He was unconscious. That's how he went, I clutched this with my entire life. No. He's going to do that to the loot that heals people. So he follows along with you. Unless you give him the what for again, he's not going to stop.
Yeah, I think I'm going to be a little more forceful this time.
Okay, if you're going to use the same skill, the DC is going to be higher. If you're going to use a different skill, I'll let you use the same DC.
Okay, I am going to use intimidation this time.
Okay. I was waiting for it.
You stay put. I don't need you dying after I've rescued you.
All right, give me a roll. Don't forget you have
is
hero
gonna
points
be
too,
a
just to
hero
remind
point,
you. Okay.
Hero point, because it was a 1.
Whoa!
Hey, so that's a little better. That is a 21.
He goes and he like stops and you see him like slide down the wall and he's like, okay, you're probably right. I'm just gonna slow you down more than help you. Look for mushrooms. Look for fresh water. Try to look for moss. You want the. Oh wait, we're in another plane. Hold on. You want the moss to not shift colors. You want it to be a static color. You're looking for purples, pinks, and blues. Anything in the warm tones, bad. Don't do that. That means it's eating other things, and usually they're carnivorous or they are poisonous. As you're like walking away, he's kind of talking through the cave. So I'm gonna aid you. Ooh.
This is for survival to find stuff. Right?
I give you a +2.
+2. Wow. Mm-hmm. So that's 29.
Blueprints. We're low blueprints. 29. You sure do. You find moss. You find a small pond inside the back of the cave, like a small river. There are some blind fish in there as well. There is mushrooms, and there are little tiny like blue sandstone encrusted, I would say oysters or mollusks that could be used as well if you wanted to heat them up. Bring a little bit of everything back?
A little bit of everything, yeah.
All right, you bring a little bit of everything back.
How long he'll need it.
Sets down. When you get to him, he's passed out. He's alive, but he's just sleeping. It's when he was by himself, he finally zonked. Do you know how to cook? I can't believe I'm asking this at level 10.
What do you want me to roll for cooking? I'll tell you if I could do it.
I guess it falls under craft. What's craft?
Survival is craft.
Crafting,
Okay.
Crafting is
Expert
cooking.
crafter, my dude. I can cook you whatever you need.
Yeah, it's crafting.
Iron
I think it's
Chef,
weird.
Iron Chef Everston.
I think it's
literally.
weird that craft covers everything in this game. That's probably my only gripe, is that craft covers it all. But I think you would need a feat to do craft cooking well beyond trained. I think you'd have to have a feat for it. That only makes sense to me. To get like any bonuses or anything like that. Because making garlic is difficult, right, Allie?
Say that one more time. I got
Making
distracted.
garlic is difficulty, right, Allie?
Oh, totally. I'm sorry. No, I got distracted because you made an Iron Chef joke, and I was like, and Everston probably has iron in him somewhere, and
He doesn't.
That's why I made the joke.
He doesn't.
He's an attack.
I know. I was still thinking about cooking competitions. It took a minute.
He doesn't. He doesn't. That's hilarious. So give me a roll, Todd. Let's see what you can get. You probably can warm up food, right? Everyone can use a microwave.
That, my friends, is a 34.
You cook it up. It's good. It takes you a little while. You you crush the mollusk, take the meat out of it. It's like this weird semi-luminescent sandstone-ish blue. I need I don't know who in the audience is here that we know. I don't see a trickster. I don't see a serving hands. I see a Kyle. We get a D20 from the audience, somebody. If someone doesn't do it, we'll roll. I want to see if you find anything in any of these mollusks, because it could be important here. If not, we will move on and I'll have a player roll it. But as you're breaking everything, getting it ready to go, in the distance, Everston, there is a faint sound of hammering.
In the cave or outside?
A 2. Outside the cave. It is echoing in here, but it's very faint. You just hear like a metal on something, just a rhythmic.
Curious.
You can give me a perception check if you want. Passive, you know it's from outside the cave. Ha ha, Kelly. Ha ha, you so funny.
I gotta
24.
get my puns in every once in a while.
24. It is coming from outside, and it sounds like rhythmic, like one person after another hammering the same thing, like in rapid succession. Like doom, 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 doom.
Does Francis have some sort of magic that he's using to?
He's unconscious still while you're cooking.
Food?
Didn't even wake up.
Oh.
He is out.
Well,
out like a fucking light.
I will complete what I was cooking. I'm not going to leave anything on the random torch I have that's cooking. That's providing heat.
All right. Makes sense to me. Which I don't even know if it would be a torch. You'd probably be sophisticated enough. It would be like something else. But yeah, I think you would be. I don't see why.
Actually, I don't have actual. I never got a adventurer's kit for this character in the beginning because I think I didn't have enough money for it. I spent it all on armor. So I think
that's funny.
Between my crafter's kit and my blacksmithing tools, I'd probably have something that could start something on fire.
Sure, I'll see why not. I mean, you literally
or if you want me to spend,
you could just
spend arsenal items.
Yes, perfect. Pull a piece of flint with a small out and just.
Oh, here's a crooked, bent up camp stove. How lucky. So anyway, I will finish the meal, set it next to him, and then go check on that noise.
All right, you're gonna walk out past the big worm, sleeping at the door.
Have to.
I mean,
if it's sleeping at the door, man, I wish coup de grace was a thing in this version.
It is laying down, is buried in the sand like I described before. It is not. It's not here like attacking or anything. It seems like it's literally waiting. It's just like Valheim. It's just here waiting. What do I do?
Any idea where that sound's coming from now that I'm at the mouth of the cave?
Somewhere in the distance, a ways away from here, like miles from here. You're just hearing the echoing. Like, stick your head out if you're being kind of cautious. It's coming from quite some distance, but it is getting louder.
But if it's that far away, I don't want to venture out at all. So I think I'll just go back in. I mean, I'll keep listening for it in case it changes direction or
absolutely,
or volume.
Absolutely.
I don't want to just leave him here.
Sit. Hold on. It tried to change to a totally different overlay. Hi. I fixed it. It's already fixed. Fixed. I don't know why I did that, everybody. I apologize. That's very weird. It doesn't usually try to switch on me like that. Let me go back to the 5 cam. Anyway, what were you saying, Todd? I will get this fixed while you're doing that.
Oh, I was just saying because folks are talking about Valheim in the chat. It's the gravelly sound of loose gravel or whatever from this scene. It actually sounds like the sizzling of the meat in Valheim when you're cooking over a fire.
I forgot about that. Good God. I love that game. I'm so glad there's new stuff coming for it. But I have no desire to play it right now.
I picked it up and have been playing a solo character. It's a lot of fun. You know, when you're solo,
everything's easier.
Not sharing everything with 9 other people. You get a lot of supplies that just build up and build up, and you never have to worry about it ever again.
Why do you think I was dropping stuff off on the server?
Right,
Unless your name is Allison, and every time you try to play Valheim, you immediately die and just spend the entire time trying to find your corpse.
Oh, yeah. No, we were organized machines.
Sneaky ghosts and tombs that run up on me and waste me.
We were organized machines. We did a hella good job.
We did all right.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm 100% fine with you sticking your head out, come back in, and are you just gonna wait it out then? Is that the concept? Is just to wait it out?
I think so. Like I know the noise probably is meaningful, but if it's so far off, I don't want to stray from here until he's better.
Okay. Fair. So as you wait, I would say probably about 8 hours, honestly, before he wakes back up. And you've kind of kept the food warm for him, made him comfortable, and he eventually wakes up to eat. And when he wakes up, you start talking. You can talk to the cast the entire time, the rest of the Gravelighters as well. When he wakes up, he looks around. His swelling has gotten pretty bad. He's not dying or anything, but it isn't good. And he says, I know I passed out for a little while. I had some really weird dreamless dreams, I guess. It was like me watching memories of my life here. And this man in these white and like midnight blue socks was standing next to me. I kept trying to walk away from him. Wherever I went, he followed. He didn't say anything to me. Really pale face, oddly gaunt individual. I don't recognize him. But he kept asking me where Foxglove was. Something about a good game we should play again. Do you know anything about this at all, Everston?
I am familiar with who that is. He has been a thorn in our side for quite a while.
Wait, he's not a friend?
No, not at all.
He acted like he was a friend.
That's how he operates.
That doesn't make me feel better. And as he says that, there is a bright light that fills the entire cavern. It is not coming from your lantern. And let's see if this works. Can you guys hear it? Did it play? No?
I didn't hear
Oh, what? Hold on. Let me do it again.
Oh, there we go. I hear it
and
now,
the sound of a chain gun goes off as a Samward in front of the door starts to move away, and as bullets ricochet, causing sparks outside the mouth of the cave. Tracks lay right to the edge of the doorstep, or the cave entrance, as the Tide Runner comes to a halt, as gunfire and spells release out of the Tide Runner. Omar leans out the side, looking in the cave. He's got a lantern, and there's a light coming off the front of the train, and all you can see is your new companion covering his eyes, going from trying to use dark vision to being blinded as a light fills this area. And Omar yells out, he's like, "All aboard!" and starts yelling as you hear more gunfire going off down the train. Everston, the Tide Runner's in front of you. You've seen it. It's repaired. It's actually more armored than it was before. Those fins that go down the top of the engine are intact, and they have little daylight lanterns in them, like little bulbs almost. And there are 13 of them that go around the housing of the engine. You can see the spirits flowing over it, which you could see before, but now they seem to travel from like fin to fin and cause them to rotate in the center. You hear Gandhi as another shotgun round goes off, and then you see electricity arc through the sky, like it's beginning to storm. Everston, what would you like to do as the Tide Runner appears from the ethereal and into the timeless sands?
Well, I'm there leaning over Francis, and I've got my hat box shield ready, like, I
forgot you had that. Oh my god!
And,
I totally forgot you had that.
I'll stand up then and be like,
You sure know how to make an entrance.
I didn't know this was gonna work. This wasn't my doing. How do I? Well, explain on the train. Let's go. Where's the rest of the team?
Quickly.
Where's the rest of the team?
They're with me.
and if an autonomous could wink, he'd wink. But
This is a good question for the cast. Does Omar know? Does the conductor know about Merrifield?
I want to say yes.
Yeah?
Because we have so many people who are from the city, or from the town of Merrifield, who are sometimes on the train and sometimes they're not. But when we make a stop, there they are. Like,
Well, I was under the assumption that the average consumer, the average person in the city doesn't know that it's like a piece of their life that just seems like time never changed. That was my assumption. And I figured major people knew what was going on. Your Terrys, your Jins, things like that. And a lot of times the ones that you don't want to explain it to are outside the circle. Because there's houses outside the circle. Omar, being that he's important, we've just never discussed, does Omar know?
like I said, I think we would tell him, because in case anything happens with the lantern while the train is is moving, if something goes wrong, he's going to need to know about it. Like, so he can try and keep the train safe.
That is the case. Is Everston, I'm assuming you pick up Francis and carry him.
yes, I'll pick him up, and we can leave whatever cooking's left behind.
As you're doing that, he scrambles and grabs a bunch of the shells and mollusks and stuff that you're doing and crams them in a bag as you're making your way back out. And the moss, like everything you collected, he kind of throws in a bag to bring with as you're kind of picking them up and taking them out. He's like, we have to have something to bring back for research, right? That's how, oh boy. That would be how Mr. Calcor and Foxglove figured things out. Remember, he's a fan of those two after everything being explained.
Yes.
All right.
As you pick him up and carry him towards the train and hop on and climb your way through, you're going to make your way all the way back to the war carriage or the war vehicle, basically Nora's office, or are you going to go straight to the doctor since Nora is out?
So I guess I'm in Everson voice.
You can be in Everson voice right now. That's fine. Where are you taking him? You going to the doctor's office? Because Nora's got hours. Probably another. What she said.
16.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll go to Nora's office because I'm sure she has medical supplies there.
Okay. Nora's, yeah, she would, but you can't do the medical thing. That's my thing.
I'll ask for medical assistance. Whoever.
There's a doctor's wagon. There's a doctor's vehicle. He would be the only person. I mean, and Omar's actually very good at medicine as well, but he is also driving the ghost train.
Yeah, he's a little busy. He's a little busy right now.
Yeah, I agree with that. So then if that's the case, he will tell you to go back to see the doc. I will get us out of here. There is... Reverse is going to take a little longer to get fired up, but once we are moving, we'll go back the way we came. My understanding is I can at least go back to the same tracks we left. For us to go somewhere else takes a good amount of fettered essence. Right now, I just tapped the engines to bring us here. So let's go back, I guess, to where I was. And then we can decide what we want to do from there. And he's like, all right, everybody, full reverse. And you see everyone pulling levers in the main engine, getting things ready to go. The Gatling going off as you are making your way through the train cars, moving with him at a pretty good clip. As you pass through the cars, those inside the lantern, you can look out. Like if you really focus, it's what would be like the sky. You can see through the clouds of movement of you running through the different train cars. It's obscured. It's not easy to tell. But once you get past the upper deck of Nora's office, where people would sleep, because remember they're double deckers, you can tell where you are. Omar gets the train up and running, throws it in reverse, and it takes about a good 10 minutes to actually get this going. So they're defending the train for a while from these worms. You get to the doctor's office, it is pretty full and pretty wounded, but it's not as bad as it could be because we've upgraded this doctor car a lot. Nobody knows the plague doctor's name. They just call him the doctor. No, this is not.
Never asked his name.
No one's asked him. Nope. And he's just gone by it the entire time. No one has ever really asked who he is, what it is, what he does. He gets a bonus to medicine checks while he's in it. Same for the one that is in the car. We are currently up to 20 beds. 17 of them are full. For those who don't know, every time a doctor card is played, it either goes to the vehicle or it goes to Merrifield, and that ups how many wounded we can have him taken care of. Stops people from dying. I'm pretty sure someone's playing a doctor card on me right now. I can see it. No, all right.
That wasn't
tickets, please. High serving hands.
Hey.
Just so you know, there's a discount on cards thanks to Streamloots tonight. They're giving us 10% off. You just type in a gift for a friend, and you can gift to the community now, which is dope. It's like giving out subs. So as you make your way back, the doctor takes Francis from you. He looks at you. He has the mask off. It's just his normal human face. He does have a pretty big scar that goes down that you can see now. It's faint, but in the light you can see. He is attached to one of the electric cars, so he actually has running energy in here from the Azure Order. And he goes, ancestry, please. And he's like asking both of you. And immediately Francis says human. You would know he's not human. He says human, but he's not human. He's a siren.
Oh.
He says human.
If that's how you identify, okay.
He looks to you and looks at the doctor, and the doctor goes, I don't care what you are here. I just need to know what your ancestry is to make sure that I'm treating you with the proper medicines. As he folds down this bed and sets him on it. Behind the bed is just shelves of drugs that are higher than someone can reach laying down, and he straps him to the bed.
I need to know your ancestry so I know what color pig to drain for you.
Yes, exactly.
I did not mention the pig yet.
It's coming.
And he says, I need to know what you are. He goes, siren. He goes, well, lucky you told me, because if I'd have gave you the cold iron needle to make sure that you weren't some dark fae coming out of the fae land, that would have hurt. And he goes, good point. And when he does, he lights a fire underneath the bed, and there's some warm coals, and it starts boiling the pig underneath that is full with water to heat the bed to keep him warm. As he runs a needle out, sticks it in his arm, taps a potion that's up top, and starts running a healing potion into him. As that happens, the train takes off a few moments later. We're going to cut from being in the endless sands as the train backs through the same ghostly green rip in the veil that it has made. One of the sandwords chasing it as it closes and the Gatling gun going off firing at it. Everston, for the last 8 minutes, did you stay in the doctor's office? Did you go help defend the train? What would you have done during this time frame?
I would have stayed with Francis.
Okay. The doctor takes good care of him. He works quickly, and he works all the beds at once. He has no assistants with him, and he does not ask anything for you other than, please just stay out of the way. I don't want to have anything happen. I don't want to bump you. I don't want to hurt any of these people. I would ask if someone tries to get up, put a hand on them and don't let them. Many of these people are too injured to be fighting. I don't care how tough they are. Broken legs and broken limbs don't help fire rifles and pistols.
Understood. They should all stay put.
And I kind of look back towards Francis.
Are you intimidating these 18 people in here?
No. Okay. I don't want to. I hate that I had to deal with him. I'm going to have to apologize to him later.
Then I need you to give me 2 athletic rolls to keep 2 people down who try to get up during this.
Damn that year of downtime where my alignment got nicer.
It's okay. Well, no one's judging.
Sit the hell down.
Most of the people in here are people who work for the train. They're basically Earth Guard that have been assigned the train and work as rail marshals, basically to help out.
35 and a 28.
All right. 35. The first thing you noticed is that Jin is in physical form and strapped down in here.
Jin. Oh, no.
And then the other one is an Earth Guard you have to hold down. Jen's like, I'm fine. Let me go. I will just turn back. We'll be fine. And the doc goes, you can't change back. I already explained that. And he goes back to what he's doing. As you make your way back.
Listen to him, Jin.
He goes, I can shift back. We're fine. There's nothing wrong. He thinks that I am someone I'm not. I possessed a physical body. I'm not this person. You can see the spirit being a Gravelighter. There's no way the doc does. He's got my manacles tied down, or my bracers tied down. I can't get out of here.
I'll help with that.
I'll loosen that up so he can unlatch again.
He shifts off and stands next to you, and the guy who's on the table is both arms are broken. He's got 3 bullet wounds that you can see have been clogged. He's got 2 tubes running to him. The doc is trying to keep whoever this Earth Guard is alive.
And were you holding this man together?
I was making sure he made it to the office, yes.
Maybe you shouldn't have left.
I'm not going to help him. He can't heal if I'm in there.
Oh. All right.
And you do see some of the wounds slowly start to cinch up. He says, we were attacked on the train significantly on the way here. Our losses are low. I don't think any deaths, but many injuries. I did my best to defend both the Azure Order's engine or vehicle that provides electricity and Nora Tenwick's office. Between myself and your Ghostiel friend, what is his name? The elven gentleman. I've never seen him before, but he said he worked with you all.
Cassiel.
Yes, Cassiel.
Cassiel.
Well, the rest of the group is gonna need to see the office. It's been tossed, but nothing is lost. And I may have a few people tied up there, and Olivia and Howitz, as much as I hate to say it, is making sure they do not leave.
We better get there right away.
So, as you make your way back, I'm assuming you don't do much until you get the rest of the group out.
I think Everston just hears like, I'm sorry, who was in my office?
Yeah, right. You set the lantern on the table, and she can see there's people all tied up to the main table in your office. And Olivier is sitting on the desk. Anytime someone moves, she is threatening to cut fingers off. There are some bags in front of the people, like little burlap sacks, like around their necks on rope on the table. And I'm assuming we wait for time to pass for the rest of the group to get out.
Olivier and Howitz, I am here to relieve you. Go help
What?
the medical professionals.
Oh, I'm not leaving this car. That's not happening.
Will go.
If I leave the car, people may attack me, and I am not currently welcome throughout every part of this train. My movement is very minimal, being my current issue.
Everson, I gave her express permission to enter my office.
She points to a bed in the corner.
Very well.
When you look
Lawrence and
around,
Wick,
there are
we'll
people
deal with
missing
people
fingers. There are people missing fingers.
Listen, while I'm in this lantern, until we come out, I am mean mugging every single one of them. Like, I know they can't see me, but like, I'm looking through this lantern. Like, I'm literally like, if there's a mirror or water or whatever, I'm like putting my face in it to try and get a close up.
Now, when
see if I can
when you do
recognize
that
any
and you
of these
push,
people.
you get the distinct feeling that you're no longer bound to the lantern again. Like you rejuvenate outside. And as far as you all know, it hasn't even been a full day.
Because we don't know enough, I don't want to push it. I
mean, that's up to you. It feels like the normal. Well, you've come in and left.
Yes.
Numerous times. So yeah, it feels like when time's up, you kind of feel like reconstituted to where you could actually leave the area.
Oh, when the timer goes off, bing, like you may now leave the lantern.
Yeah, I mean, as odd as that sounds, yeah, that's kind of what it's like.
So Castiel has a pocket watch, but Nora also has a pocket watch with the Gravelighters. So I think like she just feels like her pocket gets damp when it's time for her to because then she pulls out the pocket watch and it's dripping water, and that lets her know that she can get out.
Pull out the
I wet my
pocket
pants.
watch.
Time to go.
I pull out the pocket watch. Tell me what I see. Yeah, no,
It's dripping water all over the place.
That makes total sense to me. I'm 100% fine with that. And the time looks like it is moved forward the adequate amount. Your guess is probably time within where you were doesn't travel the same.
That's kind of that makes sense. So I kind of look to Foxglove, and I think your time here might be cut down by about half a day or so.
Yeah, it's a good
Miss
guesstimate.
Foxglove. Time passed differently in the Endless Sands because I can leave earlier than I thought I could.
I would say Foxglove, if you want to give me an arcane check. I'm gonna refresh this page here.
Hoo. That's not pretty. That's a nat 2. So hoo.
Is that good?
No.
It's better than a nat 1.
It's a
Are
17.
you sure time doesn't go backwards?
What's a time?
What's time? Time is a flat circle.
What is
time even?
time?
That's. So, do you want to spend a hero point? She's like,
I don't
how
think she will.
bad do I need to know this? Okay.
No, I think that, with everything that Foxglove is kind of going through right now, dying is like a lot to take in. So
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
It makes sense that she isn't really understanding everything that's going on. So she would probably just be like, what do you mean? How will I know when I can leave?
You'll
You feel it.
You'll feel it. And if you don't feel it, perhaps your amulet will give you a sign. And I pull out my pocket watch and it's dripping water.
Yeah, I think that would probably be pretty true for all the people who are involved, because this is this purgatory is tied to the elemental plane of water.
Okay.
So I would say dripping water or dampness, or maybe the glass filling with water. Like if it's condensation, you pick your form: frosted, fogged up fucking glass, whatever Titanic scene you want. I think that would make sense.
handprint just gets left on.
Yeah, yeah. Whatever creepy thing works for you is perfect for this.
Actually, like that.
So if you are all going to wait, my question is, do you want to wait the days necessary for Foxglove?
No, I have people to question and demand to know why they were tossing my office. So.
Okay, so when you come out and reconstitute in the office, the lantern on the table, which means you guys can still speak back and forth to Foxglove, and you can see the immediate area. They're all bound around this table here.
So I feel so. Hold on. So just real quick, like I feel myself pushing through, and I'm about to pull myself through. And I'm like, no, let's be smart about this. Everson, can you go behind one of these, one of the dividers, or go upstairs real quick? I don't need these common thugs to find out what we do.
Of course. Oh.
I'll move somewhere where she can vamp in without being seen.
Okay.
Nora almost pushed her way through, and then she was like, "No, that's not a good idea. Let's not."
All right, so you wait and you go out of the way so people don't know that you're there, and you make your way out. Olivier's standing there when you come out, and she says, don't worry, they are all mesmerized right now. They're not going to do anything unless I tell them to. Took a little bit, but 3 fingers in, they got it.
I'm going to ignore the fingers comment for now. Do any of these people look familiar? I'm starting an investigation into who broke into my office and tried to toss it.
Give me...
We're so angry right now.
I think I would need either a society or a pretty good check if you're better at that. You need to be at least, I would say, an expert, right? Train, expert, mastered, legendary, right? Am I doing that right?
Yeah, I'm only trained in society right now.
So you need to be an expert in society. Otherwise, I would need a nature check, and you need to be at least trained.
Well, I'm trained in nature, so...
Okay. Because it's pretty specific information.
I think Kelly, the player, might know who these people are already, but...
What was the total count that I said Todd saw? How many there were? I gave you a number, didn't I?
I was like...
In the medical area?
No. How many rogues? I think it was 10.
Ooh.
Not rogues, cloaked. Yes, remember. 18 with Francis. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, there we go. Yep. All right. So that is everybody.
It's just a small gathering of people trying to break into my office.
They broke in. They just didn't get past the breaking part. I'll put one here.
Obviously, my very expensive No Dark Salt needs an upgrade, so that'll go on the...
They're not spirits.
On the docket. I got a...
That would work for spirits. These aren't spirits.
Yeah, I got a 36.
And then I would say, Foxglove, you can give me a nature check or a society if you're at least an expert, which I believe you are.
Oh, society? Yes, we are an expert at least.
So you can talk to them. So you can give me a check as well, because you can see within the light of the lantern, which goes out to 60 foot. So you can at least see out of that.
Beautiful. Cool. That's a 21. That was...
You want to spend a hero point?
Yes.
Okay.
Might
so
as well.
Everton spent 1. Foxglove, that's your first one, right?
Yes, it is.
Nora, have you spent 1 yet?
No. That was my first roll of the night, and I got 36 total, so...
31.
31. Okay, so from the nature side of things, they're all fae. They're dressed in blacks and dark blues. Most of them have elven or sylvan-like qualities to them. Some have wings that are tucked away under robes. But they have all the really dark, like the black eyes with specks of different color in them. They are people from the Never, somewhere at least. But they are dressed as if they are part of the Court of Midnight.
Okay.
Now, for society, you would directly know that these are emissaries for the not emissaries, but assassins for the Court of Midnight, along with people probably here trying to steal information on what Miss Tenwick would know. She like kicks the table over. She's like, hey, it's not mine. I'm at somebody else's house. Fuck this thing.
No, it's very low, and yes. Anyways, I guess Lillian will basically. So, quick question: only
Gravelighters can hear you.
Okay, good. She's just gonna go. Well, what have you done that requires these never assassins to be showing up?
I mean, do you so in the lantern?
Do you want a list?
Do we want to talk about the time where all of us basically assaulted the Prince of Midnight?
Oh.
And he was swallowed by a demon?
That'll do it.
Because that happened.
That'll do it.
Yup. And the fact that you had the Prince of the Court of Summer.
Yeah. Also that we had the Court of the Prince of Summer, or the Prince of the Court of Summer with us for a bit. I don't believe you've met him.
No, but know a Sandman who knows a thing or two about him.
There's some other things that I may or may not have done. I'm not entirely sure. I've lived a long life.
Castillo goes, well, do we want to put them in the prisoner car? Because I'm assuming they boarded us while we were in the Sands of Time, or in the Sands of Time. That's the only place I think that they could get on. It's not like they were chasing us through the material.
So verbally, I'd ask Livian, like, did they board before the train made its trip?
Oh, I was sleeping when they opened up my bed. Opened it to take a look. That disturbed me. I killed the first one. Sorry about that. And the other ones quickly started to flee. I locked all the doors so they could not escape, and disarmed and dismantled the ones who intended to attack me. Most of them seem to be elven-blooded from taste. I think that's the taste. Honeyish kind of nectar tone to them. And then I think some of them, if not most, are not fully of the elven lineage. Only that one. And he points to the white-haired one. This one here. Oops, I'm clicking on the wrong thing. This one here.
Okay.
I'll delete this one so it doesn't duplicate. So it doesn't look like there's more than one.
Right. Do any of these people, but specifically this gentleman right here, do they look like the fake Marianne?
Yeah, actually, yes.
Okay.
They do look like the fake Marianne. Very much so.
Okay. One of them, I'm just putting that in my notes, looks like the fake Marianne.
Yep. No one has passive perception high enough for that, but since you said it, I will 100% give it to you.
Sometimes my memory comes in handy.
So Olivian says, yeah, they are, most of them unable to fight, many of them harmed. I didn't kill, but the one who woke me, I'm new to this whole thing. And my companion did the best to keep them all in place. And you see they all have like roots tied around their wrists. And then the ones that like would hold swords, she's lobbed their thumbs off.
So Nora internally is screaming, but also understands that this is really good progress for her, right? So
yeah. Out of 11, 10 are alive.
10 are alive, and one of them could be considered a justified homicide because it was self-defense because they opened up her coffin and woke her up.
She says that they did have a weapon, and I was slumbering.
Nora just kind of nods to file that for later. This one right here is very upset.
Kill the rest?
No.
Castile's like, no, we're not killing them all.
I don't need more coming after me. This gentleman right here has a personal grudge, unfortunately.
If you wish, I could possess them each and start taking them to the prison car.
Yes, because I do want to question them. You said they didn't get anything, Olivier, just to...
Nope, she points to the pile over at the other table of like books and trinkets and items that they were carrying. She says some might be yours, some might be theirs. I don't know, I just took everything. Every bag, every backpack, every satchel, every weapon is on that table.
All right.
Also figured since they can't see it, they also couldn't summon it to them as easily. I've seen that damn trick that Voss does with his staff, and that's the last thing I wanted.
Right. Definitely, I think the normal cells will work for the other individuals, but this gentleman, if he is who I think he might be, he may actually be an assassin who decided to take an unsanctioned job. Like his family members before him.
Well, let's start moving them out. Castile says, I'll get security. I will have them help escort. I'll possess the ones that seem the most danger to walk them out physically. If Everston here would like to help, since he's going to be easier. I will say if Everston goes and Castile does it, within the course of like 30 minutes, you could get everyone out of this room and into a prison car. You're going to have to double bunk some people in the prison car because you don't have that much space in the prison car because it's a piece in progress, but you do have enough to where you could put some of these people in there. We are short. I can tell you here. We have a total of the armor car. That one has one jail cell for people who are like extremely important. And then the prisoner car has a space for 6 right now. So you could double them up and leave them in there for now. And she says, the other one's mesmerized. I can hold this for a day. I only mesmerize the leader to keep them in check. But you can speak to them. What is that noise? I hear cards. Why is there no card showing? I heard it. I didn't see it, but I heard it. I know. I didn't see it. Oh, there it is. It was just way delayed. Huh. That was weird. So they march everybody out of the room, leaving just the group. And with all of them gone, I would say you have this one person that you can question. What would you like to do?
Okay, if he's mesmerized... I'm going to...
Healing Wave got rejuvenated 1 card. That's good.
So,
very nice.
Just real quick, while they're walking everybody out during that half hour, with my gloves and with my kit, I'm going to leaf through the belongings that were on the table, see if any of them were, if they did nick any case files.
Sure. Give me, I guess it's a regular perception roll.
Okay.
Or, because that's what investigation falls under, right?
Yeah. And this is definitely a part of my pursue a lead.
Yeah, that's fine.
Why did you mess with my office? That is a 34.
It doesn't look like they got anything. There are some files here. All of the files that you quickly notice have the Hastings name on them.
Okay.
For obvious reasons.
Right. But they're not mine.
They're your files.
Are
Yeah.
they?
They're your
Okay.
files. Anything they can find on Hastings, the relationships between the ship, you name it.
Okay. I was like, wow, that's a huge junk pile. Then I realized, no, that's
That's her Eidolon.
that's her Eidolon.
Just there for emotional support.
Yeah, it's
No,
her
it's-
emotional support Eidolon.
It's in case I need it.
Yeah. So I kind of flipped through there. Anything about me or anything about Kristoff?
No. 100% looking into the Hastings family. There would be a little bit of information in your case file if they grab the one that would be about Hastings jumping through the portal. There's information on that. And then any information you've taken on him and his Fanus and his right to the heir as a prince of the Summer Court.
Okay.
They're obviously looking for a way to disprove what's going on. No roll even required. Like, you're just smart enough to know, like, oh, they're trying to stop the Summer Court from winning. Now they have a prince that's taking over.
Okay.
Literally know that prince will fuck it all up anyway, but that doesn't matter.
Yeah, they don't know that, so...
Right, that doesn't matter.
Okay.
He'll turn it into a love ballad competition.
I could turn that to a correct spelling. That'd be cool. Fascinating.
Thou
All right.
shall not be named.
So...
Oh, I
I'm
forgot.
gonna go back to our dazed and confused gentleman.
Gift packs I just put the link in there too. I think there's 15 packs in there. So as a group, I say 30 minutes pass after you kind of search everything, look over it. Everston comes back. Everyone's able to talk. Castile comes back a little exhausted. He kind of sits down on one of the chairs. He doesn't materialize, but it looks like he's trying to make it look like. First time you've seen Castile act like he's tired. He's usually very knightly in what he does. And he looks around and says, listen, if you don't mind, I'm beat. Possession is taxing, and this is a lot. I'm going to rejuvenate in the lantern for now. If you would like, I could stay in contact. Otherwise, I'm going to continue helping the Inquisitor sort out the spirits that are in there for now. It's not as tiring inside the lantern for me. And kind of looks around the group.
That's fine. You've done more than enough. And
Okay.
I don't quite know if we would need your assistance in questioning this gentleman.
Oh, and you say that Olivia
Anyway.
is standing behind the man with her hands on top of the I should
chair?
say she's probably sitting on the back of that ottoman, like opposite, like straddling it, and with her mouth like breath distance from him.
Okay. That's not concerning at all.
Nope.
All right.
She says, dude, can you turn that lantern off though? It is painful to look at. Because you have a daylight lantern running in the room.
Yeah, we can dim that down a little bit, I think.
I feel like I was stuck in the sun. She does not ignite, though, from it.
Just put my hand on it to like
Damn
I
it.
did the act of turning it down, but don't do anything with it.
Oh, okay. So if you do leave it on, she's going to move to the other side of the room to stay away from it.
Oh well.
Everston, fuck her. I don't care. I'll hit her with another grand piano.
I'll hit her with another piano. I'm actually going to sit like right on the table, like right in front of this guy.
Sure. Like lean against it.
Yeah. Hi, I don't believe we've been properly introduced. May I have
No.
your name?
I don't think we should be properly introduced. And you hear Olivia in the background go, be polite. I will cut another finger. I am the head of the Thorns for the Midnight Court. I am the minute closest to 12. My job is to assassinate those that I am assigned to kill. I do not have a name that I am allowed to give to someone on the material. And he like glances to Olivier.
So, head of the Thorns of the Midnight Court. Is it safe to assume that this is sanctioned or unsanctioned?
Sanctioned.
Okay, because the last time I ran into someone who looks very much like you actually. Her assassination attempt was unsanctioned.
I'm sorry to hear that. This is sanctioned. And he raises a hand, and like the thumb is like wrapped, but like bleeding through. And he like goes to reach into a vest pocket. May I?
I mean, you may.
When he makes this motion to pull it out, I need a Foxglove to give me a perception check.
Alrighty.
So as he does that, I kind of like make some small talk, like, Celine Gilvin. Does that name ring a bell at all?
Yes, why?
I just want to know if she worked for you.
She's dead. She does no longer work for us.
Oh. Can I roll perception to see if he's lying after we resolve Allie's perception check?
Sure. Hers is for something totally different, so absolutely.
Yeah.
That was a 26.
Okay. You saw him during the gala. He was on the side of the Midnight Court, sitting closest to the head of the court.
Okay.
He also was not donning a mask. He just had a black, like half cloth that kind of went down the nose that covered his face, but he was not wearing like an elaborate mask or anything. But his motions, and you directly remember him taking a letter from the Court of Midnight and putting it in his pocket. Same motion, but just in reverse.
Okay.
Because I'm assuming you notice damn near everything at a party, because that's like that is your jam,
Yeah.
so to speak.
Parties are my favorite terrain.
Yeah, is that, wow, if that was a real thing. Whew. So,
T-shirt.
and then what were you asking, Kelly? If he's lying?
Is he lying? I got a 30.
No, he is not
Actually,
lying.
okay.
Being very honest, actually. Very honest about it. He wouldn't follow up or anything. He would just say, she's no longer alive. So, if you and your cadre of individuals would let me go, we'll just consider this a wash. And you see his eyes glaze over again, and you see a hand motion in the back from Howitz again. It says, I can make him do whatever we want. I'm letting him speak freely right now, but if you want him to just, only tell you things you want to hear, I could do that, but it'll probably cause a little damage.
It's not necessarily how I operate. I would prefer to get the unfiltered version.
I could drain him part of the way, make him way more gullible and willing to talk.
The way she's phrasing it makes it sound like, I can get him to tell you what you want to hear, and
Yes,
that's
exactly.
not what Nora's about.
Yeah,
right, so
exactly.
again,
No.
again.
Speak truthfully is more what she's saying. Not
Well,
just tell you what you want to hear. Not just like, yeah, I know you're right. I killed the 6th person on the 7th day, even though he wasn't there. But like actually tell you the things that you want to know. So if y'all, it's up to you. But I'm just putting it on the table. If I can help with your investigations to hasten this along, and I can go back to sleep. Obviously can't do that with everyone in here talking.
Right.
Also,
what
why do you
would
keep
people-
speaking to the lantern?
Because it's a reliquary, and there's some spirits in there that I'm attempting to.
I'm going to need a deception roll from you. It's partially
Yep.
true. That's a real
It's partially
good.
true.
That is some good bullshit right there. Technically
Oh my.
true.
Technically, it's true.
Technically true.
And technically, Foxglove is a spirit for another 4.5 days.
Technically speaking.
Well, actually. It's like
No, fuck. That's Sunday. That is Sunday.
I know. Let's see. This is not my strong suit. It's definitely not my strong suit. I'm spending a hero point because I feel like I can roll better than a 3. Hopefully.
Okay.
Yeah, I can. She'll probably still beat me because I'm not good at this, but that would be a 31.
And then she says, she goes, Okay. Everyone has their secrets. I obviously have my own. Like, not all the fingers are on the table. Where's it at? We all have our own secrets.
Like, as she's saying that, I'm, like, looking at her, but then I'm also looking at the guy that we are talking to right now.
His eyes are still glazed over. He doesn't seem to be, like, right, quite there.
You know what? People sometimes remember things that you don't think they're going to remember, so that's why Nora's trying to be cagey, and everyone's not following.
Well...
Anyway,
if you don't want me to, she drops the mesmerize then. Totally drops it, though. Like, gone. She's not going to be able to re-mesmerize him.
Well, what I was going to say before this all happened, like, what did he actually pull out? Was it paperwork saying that it was sanctioned?
It's a piece of paper in black with a white star wax seal on it. And it would have clock hands on it for the 11th hour.
Okay, so is it like a sealed envelope or sealed paper?
Sealed paperwork. Black paperwork. Sealed.
Can I mean, obviously I can't, like, I'm not going to take it from trying to handle it, but looking at the wax seal and stuff, can I roll to see if it's, like, legitimate or if it's...
I mean, he sets it down on the table in front. He says, you're welcome to open it. It's my current orders and what I'm supposed to do. It has nothing to do with harming any of you, just to get information.
I'm going to open it then. Like, if he's letting me... actually... Before I open it, I would like to... This is going to sound very paranoid. Can I search the letter for traps?
Yeah, you can. 100%.
Because...
No, it's not paranoid. That is very, like, is there dust on it? Is there powder?
Right. Is there some sort of, like, seal that I'm not sure it might trip something, like...
That's a very, very, very fair question.
I think that happened in an episode of MacGyver. Somebody touched coins in a treasure chest and they were all poisoned and he died.
I got 39.
As you go to, like, you touch it with, like, your pen knife and slide it across. When you pick your pen knife off, you notice that the black scratches away. Someone got a Power Nero card laying around? Fuck. Power Nero is only available for tonight, and he gets turned back off.
So that being the case, then does it look like it is some sort of like poisonous powder, or is it fake?
It looks like it's a magical powder, and probably making. If it were to come off while reading it through sweat or whatever, he is wearing gloves. But if it came off through sweat or you scratched it and you were near it, yeah, it would be bad. Without testing it, you don't know, but it definitely is. It's why not just use black paper? Why would it be coated?
Right. Interesting coating on this paper.
Well, everyone has to try to leave if possible. Look, slice it open with your knife and flip it open gradually. You'll be fine. It's just a flash powder. It's nothing that would harm you directly, maybe blind you for a day or two, but you'll be fine. Just let me go and this wouldn't be a problem.
The problem is that you broke into my place of business.
I did. We intended to steal nothing other than to read them and put them back.
You say that.
I mean that.
But I don't know what this says. So while we're talking
the
again...
court order to kill an Oliver Hastings.
I'm going to roll another perception check to see if he's lying about what will happen if I actually open it. Or do I need to not do? Okay.
I don't think so. He's being honest. There's no real reason. He told you it was poisonous. He's not telling you what the poison is. Or not poison, sorry, that it caused basically blindness, a flashbang in the area. But
right.
If you peel the wax first, you're fine.
I will very carefully...
So looking at it, you can see it's been reheated and reattached. So he probably opened it, read it, reheated it, and attached it so that he could use it to cause problems.
To get out.
Right. So if you give me a thievery check, you can pry it open, no problem. What is that key?
Cool.
Okay, serving hands, that is amazing. Oh, you got the new emotional support card. That's good. Train went through some trauma getting here.
That is I can do math, I swear. That is, I'm boss today. That's a 36 thievery.
Oh yeah. So you get it pried open. You lick your knife, make sure it's wet. Pry it across, make sure none of the powder explodes. And it's exactly what he says. It is a written order from the head of the Court of Midnight to assassinate a Oliver Hastings.
Okay.
A direct order. And to confiscate any information saying that he is the true prince to the Summer Court. You didn't have much information on him, so I took what I could, recorded it down, and we were on our way out when that woman decided we weren't allowed to leave. And whatever that thing is that it summoned. May I ask you a question privately? And he kind of looks around. I mean, except for maybe just have her leave, and points to Olivier.
I think then, yeah, I would nod.
Vivian goes, okay, I'll go upstairs. Is that fair?
Yeah, that's fine with me.
So she skirts the room and walks around the daylight as, someone moves the lantern out of the way and makes her way upstairs. When she does make her way out, he goes, in my right pocket, I obviously can't pull it out, lacking the thumb. In this pocket, if you'd like to reach in, we have one of Oliver's belongings. It is a ethereal bracelet. It's how we tracked back to here. We followed them, whatever it is, to here. And I'm assuming it's tied to that object on the table behind me. The lantern. The glow is almost identical. Don't forget, if you're purchasing packs, people, there is a 10% discount right now from Streamloots.
I will, again, very carefully. I feel so dumb being like, is this pocket trapped? So I guess I'm just gonna...
I mean, you could just take your dagger and kind of pull it and look. Your passive's enough to look by any quickly made traps. Right. He can't get it out because he doesn't have I guess he could hook his fingers in and try to drag the bracelet out.
I will gingerly grab the bracelet.
All right, you pull it out. It is the Gravelighters item that was bestowed to him when he became a Gravelighter.
Okay.
If you were to put it back in the lantern, you would regain a spot for another Gravelighter.
Okay.
He says, I will give you that for me leaving this place. Does that seem fair to you? I'm not here for you. I don't wish to harm any of you. I just want to do my job and leave. Ooh, so, 25 gales. Nice.
Can I roll... Sorry to be hogging the airtime with rolls, everybody, but this has really got Kelly the player on edge. Can I roll legal lore to see, what the repercussions would be if we kept him in custody?
Yeah. Allie, do you have legal lore? I don't remember if you do. You don't, do you?
Me?
Yeah, you. You don't have legal lore, do you?
No, I do not.
Okay. I couldn't remember as the dandy if you got a lore like that or something. Give me a roll.
Gossip lore.
You've got. Do you have gossip lore? Seriously?
No, it's heraldry and genealogy.
I will give you a roll on that when she asks the question and he hands the paperwork and hands the other stuff over. I will 100% give that to you.
Especially when I mentioned Galen Gilvin.
Yep.
So I'm going to roll legal lore to see if there's any repercussions of me being like, no, I'm confiscating this and you're now in our custody. Versus...
Okay.
That would be a 35.
It would do you no good to hold him other than for you to question him. They will send others after him, and then you may become a target.
Right, okay.
But getting information out of him and letting him go is probably the safest bet. Killing him could be good as long as nobody else knows about it. He doesn't get a signal out. Someone isn't watching. All those kind of things. The fact that he is offering up the bracelet as I give this to you, you let me go.
Right.
And somehow they got this bracelet, which either means Oliver lost an arm or Oliver took it off.
Right. We'll see what Allie got with her.
What do you got, Allie?
Her genealogy or heraldry check.
That right there is going to be a big old 24.
Are you happy with that, or would you like to spend a point?
I'm happy with that.
Okay. Please look at your Discord. Or no, sorry. Look at your Discord, but look in the Lillian chat. The Foxglove Alley. All right. So as you see it, up to you if you want to say this out loud, because it is, people can hear you when you talk when you're in the lantern. It's not silent, it's not telepathy, but it's like kind of underwater noised. Let's see, there you go. Bye, Allie. She's like, okie dokie.
Must have been devastating news.
She's like, it's so devastating. I must turn my camera off.
I gotta turn my camera off. I can't.
Oh no, that should not have happened.
Well,
Wait a
it's a good
moment.
thing you're getting a new camera soon.
I think you just clicked the. I think you just clicked the off button.
No, it's something else going on. Give me a
If you
minute.
hit to leave and come back, I'll just add you back in. Yes, exactly. Want to be famous? I don't want to be famous. Did someone just answer that? Oh.
My famous will don't, because the
I
famous answers
almost
like
just
coming up.
banned serving hands. I saw you want to be famous? I was like, fuck this thing. I was already on it.
Oh no!
I was like, wait, why is serving hands saying
don't ban
that?
serving hands.
She's got a sword. She'll just ban you right back.
Right? So she looks over it, and according to you, keeping him here would just be more detrimental, a bit more harmful than good.
Okay.
Same for the rest of them that were sent with him, though. You should technically question them and let them all go.
Okay. Well.
Thanks, Tila.
There we go. Yeah, I feel like we can either play this game back and forth, or I can go ask my friend, the Elven Investigator, for more information after I let him go. So,
What would you like to do?
well, he might not be able to give me anything. So, I think I'd ask him if there's any like sort of paperwork or contract that I would need to sign.
Oh, no. Me giving you the item is justifiable enough. If you can read an object, you can read the conversation we had. Object would have recorded it being something that's in the vicinity, and we have both touched at the same time. It would be a binding fey contract, which you know is true. He's not making shit up.
Right. I forgot to mention this because I haven't had to use it in a while, but before this happened, I would have hit my clockwork recorder.
Oh, that's fine. That makes totally fine.
Yeah. This is like, I feel like this is a thing Nora would do. So then I would kind of nod. I'd be like, all right, then you are free to go. Your staff will be released shortly.
Ooh, sorry, I'm being handed beer.
Oh, no.
What is this one? Wait.
Wow.
Orange cream sickle double marbles.
Nice.
I'm excited for this. Yeah.
That sounds delightful.
It is going to be delightful.
Suddenly it's break time, right?
Yeah.
Suddenly, we are almost there. We're 4 minutes off
We're
the
almost
break.
there. Yeah, so I would let him know that we will let him go, and then his fellows will be released shortly thereafter.
Is there anything else that I need to do for you? Being that you are letting me go, that means that I obviously owe you a debt of gratitude. What do you need from me?
Don't leave town.
Yeah, all right.
Well,
no,
I'm
he's
going back
definitely
to the Never, so I will definitely not be anywhere near this train or town.
correct.
Is there anything I can do for you?
I understand that you may not be willing to answer this, and I've already agreed to your release. So, can you tell me how you got this?
The band? Oh,
Yes.
absolutely. He was in a duel in the middle of the field. He took it off, claiming his rightful space to the throne, the Court of Summer, something about no longer being a part of the Gravelighters, which I assume was your organization.
That is correct.
Well, that is what I know. I do know what Gravelighters are. I just didn't think they existed anymore. I'm over 1,500, and I haven't seen one in the last 1,000 years. Actually, longer than that. 15, almost 1,400 years. So,
We're back, baby.
right? If you don't mind, and he holds his hands up that has the vines around it.
I'm just going to touch the vines and try and pry them open. I don't want to cut them because I don't know if that's going to hurt Olivier.
Oh, no, it's a spell. You can cut him.
Okay.
It's not something left behind. So when you cut him, he stands up, he kind of rolls his shoulders a little bit, walks back towards the table to grab his gear, and he grabs the gear of the other people. He's like, and for the rest of us, they'll be let go as well?
Yes, within 24 hours.
I'll be
Probably
around.
Sooner. Probably
He
sooner.
He says, I'll be around then for the next 24 hours. Can I give you a bit of good word, advice, I would say?
I'm all ears.
You were not at the gala, right? The Warriors Gala, but the woman, and he taps the lantern when he walks back to the table that's in here that I can see, she was there.
Oh, all right.
Do you trust her? As he's like looking in the lantern.
I trust her well enough.
Well, she was seen with the Baroness of Worthington.
Oh, that doesn't surprise me at all.
Oh.
Like, Nora doesn't say it like joyful. Like, there's like, he doesn't need to roll to see this. Like, she just sees
He's like,
that
I've been
little kind of
investigating
twinge.
this
Like,
hoe for so long.
yes, kind of. That's what he sees when Nora says, "Oh, that doesn't surprise me at all."
Well, then, I guess I am absolutely of no use to you, Miss Tenwick. I wish you the best of luck with her, the bracelet, and whatever this Gravelighter resurgence is. Off the record, between everyone in the room, are both of you part of the organization? Points to Everston and to you.
I will openly admit that I am. But I'm like out of character. I'm not going to make Everston say anything. So
he looks to the Thomas in the room again. Is the silence an admittance of truth? Just silence. Okay.
The door sticks a little. Don't let it hit you on the way out.
I see.
wow.
I see. Well, as he walks by, you notice he tries to like grab the lantern to like move it a little bit, like just testing limits, and the lantern does not move because it weighs
it's fairly
so
heavy.
much to a regular person right now because of the amount of the weight of sins and souls in it. And he goes, full. And he walks to the door. When he gets to the door opens. You see a huge vined hand come through and grab him by his face.
Oh no!
And in what did it say it spoke? Infernal, right? That's what she's been speaking, correct? It's tiefling. It says not allowed to leave. And you just hear crunching noises.
Oh, now it's a crime scene.
And he's batting to try to get this palm off of it.
He's allowed to leave.
Not allowed to leave. And you hear more crunching.
I try and pull him away, or Everston, try and pull him away, and then I like shout up to Olivier.
I need an athletics check between me and Everston to make that happen.
Here we go.
You got to go before me. Hey, audience, can someone give me a D20?
I just had one crime scene in my office. I don't need another one.
Can someone give me a D20? I was waiting for this fucking guy to leave. It's
34.
all right.
Athletics.
What do you got in the audience? D20 from the audience. I don't care who rolls it. I just need one D20. As I sip my new, and oh, by the way, it's an
Dude, the one time she rolls, she's like, got 19.
It's an orange creamsicle IPA. Oh my god. It is like Sprecker's orange creamsicle mixed with like just notes. That is fucking godlike.
That sounds incredibly
Pretty
Holy
good.
shit. Sorry, Jen, we need more of this.
In general and right now?
Just do. That needs to be dessert beer in the fridge at any given time. 17 on the die. As you go to grab, you start pulling. For the first time, this is something that has been stronger than you. As it goes, no leaving. And then he starts pushing it down to the ground. And you just hear like buckling and popping. And you can see the wooden face with the one side being hollow, where normally when she fits inside the eidolon, you would see her half. And you can see the glowing red eyes. It's just crunching this guy down and folding him like an accordion. You're
Make me get
welcome.
another piano.
I was
He
trying
didn't get
to.
hit by the piano. Do you actually say that? Give me an intimidation check as your second action. I will absolutely give you an intimidation action because Olivia
20.
can see through its eyes.
24.
Are you happy with that, or you want to spend a hero point?
That's very high for me, so I'm going to keep it.
The hand releases as the guy crumples to the ground. And he goes, fine. And the door slides shut. And when the man starts trying to get himself up, he's got cracks and a bunch of splinter marks in his face. And he stands up and looks back. He goes, do you consider her a friend? As he's trying to stand back up.
I am also aware of her past crimes, as I use battle medicine to patch up the damage that was just done.
Stop. No. And he pops a wooden vial and drinks it. And you hear that grinding noise of things pulling back into place as he uprights himself and he looks around the room. And he takes the letter out because you don't get to keep the letter, obviously.
Right.
And he rubs it together until it starts to break apart like paint off of a pallet. And he blows it against the door, and this midnight black hole appears. And he steps through the hole instead. And it slowly kind of peels off the door and just crumples into old paint.
Well, we've got 24 hours to interrogate the other prisoners. Let's go.
And with that, we're going to go to break. So, everybody, we're going to take I think this is the last showing for our show and break. I think this is the last one of Gamera. Gamera, right? Am I saying that right today? Brain's fried. But I think I have 2 and 3 that are going to be available for me to play, which is pretty cool, especially leading into Ogre Force this weekend. I'm excited for that. And then when we come back, we're going to come back. We'll make some rolls off camera for your 24 hours. Any questions you have, and that will bring Miss Foxglove back in a physical form, not just a manifested form. And we will talk about some Gravelighterdom as we roll into Cadra, because, buddy, shit's about to get. You got some decisions to make, because right now Serving Hands thinks you should sell the souls. On Friday, she said, why not make money? Sell the souls. So, we're going to intermission. Get your drinks. We'll be back here in 13 minutes like always. Season 1 WARLANTERN patches are finally here. Glow in the dark. Only 95 limited run. That comes with a card of authenticity. And we are excited finally to have it in our store. Link down below. And remember, subscribe, and share it with all your friends. Because when we hit 1,000 subscribers, we have something special to give away.
Look, he's moving. It's going to work.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you, Naboyo. Hello, Dr. Hidaka. It works. Gamera's following the path of fire to Oshima.
So we did it. He's on his way here.
Do you see Gamera?
Yes. No, not yet.
We're all
Just
ready.
the fire. Thank you, Professor.
Can you see anything? Is Gamera there yet?
Phew, for heaven's sake.
Typhoon warning.
Doctor, listen.
Attention! Typhoon warning! A small typhoon originating east of Otori Island has changed course and is approaching the Tokyo area. All shipping is warned to take shelter immediately. High winds, rain squalls,
Dr.
extremely
Hidaka,
rough seas
could
are
this be
anticipated.
trouble for us?
Take all necessary
I think we're all right once Gamera is here.
There is a threat of volcanic activity and
Gamera!
in the Tokyo area. Services. It is advised that everyone assure themselves of an adequate water and food supply. Get your first aid materials.
No! Gamera! It's a trap! Get back! You're in danger!
Come on, Gamera! Come on! That's it! We've got you now!
Look! The wind is blowing out the fire!
Look, the fire is out. Come, go. This blasted typhoon.
Can't anything be done, Doctor?
Might I suggest, Doctor, that we use some of the fuel from Plan Z? It's not practical. Why not? Because if we did, there wouldn't be enough fuel left over for the plant itself. See?
Dr. Hidaka!
Sabotage!
Hey, you! Stop there! Put out the fire!
What are you doing? Are you mad?
That man! Dr. Yagi!
Let me go! Don't put out the fire! Doctor, listen!
What's the meaning of this?
Are you insane? Mr. Ayagi, what are you doing?
Listen to me. You both don't understand. If Gamera sees that, he'll come back, won't he?
You're right, Hayagi. Men! Light the fire! Hurry!
Keep feeding the fire! That's it! Forward! The wind! Gasoline! Get the gas from the truck! The fire's going out!
Dr. Hidaka!
It's no use.
Gamera!
Look at that. There he goes, and there's nothing we can do about it.
And so close to success, too.
Ah, rotten luck. He's turning! The volcano did it!
We were right. Wonderful. Yes.
Here comes the plane. Probably Professor Morassi.
Yes.
10 minutes and counting.
The eruption has subsided, sir.
Not even a live volcano could keep me away today.
Yes, sir. Tighten your belt.
No boil!
Good morning, Professor Morassi. Did you have a
No,
pleasant
boy.
flight? You had me scared half to death.
Call me later. Right now we got to hurry, or else we miss everything. Come
5
on.
minutes and counting.
Wait till you see this. Look.
It's incredible.
Here they are.
Professor Morassi.
Ah, Dr. Hidaka. Everything's going well, it seems.
Very well indeed.
Excellent.
Stand by, please. The count is now 10 seconds and holding.
All set? Yes, sir. Good. Ready ignition and start off step 2. Begin step 2. Ready?
Joshua.
Open hatches. Flares out.
Hatches open. Flares out.
Ready with the capsule? Close capsule. Activate energizer. Stand by. Resume count. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. This is success! We made it!
This is United Nations Radio. At this very moment, the Plan Z rocket with Gamera aboard is starting on its long journey to Mars. Plan Z, a triumph of scientific achievement, is the result of the combined efforts of all the nations of the world. Thus, through international cooperation, a major threat to civilization has been averted.
Well, Joe, we did it. Oh, the three of us saw the beginning and the finish, eh?
Only I didn't get a picture.
Where's he going, Dr. Hidaka?
He's on his way to Mars. So I guess that he'll still be lonely, eh?
I think so, Dr. Hidaka. But when I grow up, I'm going to be a scientist like you. And then I'll go to Mars in a rocket.
I see.
oh my God, there's no more Gamora. Gamora. I said Gamora. I meant Gamera. You know what I meant. Gamora's fucked too. Watch the movies. So we'll be back here in 1 minute. 1 minute. Well, so we left them investigating for 24 hours, and I'm going to say days are going to pass. Nora has done her job questioning the other bad guys, I guess. The other people from the Court of Night, the assassins. For those who don't know, assassins from the Court of Night are all half-elves. Rarely is a true, like, full elf sent. Usually it is a half-blood because they can hide amongst humans better than an elf can, from the way they move to what they look like to how they act. So as she questions the other groups that are there, there is a little bit of information that comes out. There's been discussions, I'm assuming, between the group before Foxglove comes back out, but we're going to fast forward to them pulling into Cadra and speaking to each other on the train, and then I think Everston might have a solution for the problems, depending on how his Gravelighter knowledge is, on what to do with all the souls that are in the lantern. So let's go back to our group here. And if you have cards, I did tally up some cards during our intermission. Thank you to everybody who's played cards tonight. We actually had a decent amount played already. There is the 10% off. It only works once for the coupon, but feel free to use that if you haven't used it yet. And we will be also running our Ogre Force this weekend, and I think we're going to get a discount for our Ogre Force as well, which is pretty cool. So, with that said, we're in the top 40% now. We're still in the Crystal Division. We're not in a Carbon Division yet. It doesn't tell me how far we are, but we're close. We are close. I guess that's based on packs purchased, but we are in the Crystal Division.
When you leaned in like that, it looks like you're looking through the circle of the lantern patch. Like that's the door monocle.
Yeah, it's too hard to even line up. So we arrive in the Cadra station. The train comes to a halt. Here, hold on, because since we have it, we might as well get our sound effect again here, right?
Choo choo, motherfuckers.
Wonderful sound effect. 10 out of 10.
Isn't that great?
A perfect 7 out of 5.
So as we pull in to Cadra is an immense city. The train has passed across a bridge. You can see locks on each side that the tides raise and lower from, allowing people to pass easy in and out of the place. And the area you go through doesn't have that. It's a solid bridge. It's an old bridge that has been reconstituted and used by not only the True Faith for their trains, the city of Cadra, the capital of Ingrad, the area we are playing in, but also it is something pre-sundering, when trains were a little more common than they are now. The station is in good shape. There are people of the true faith there when you step off, handing out water, or I should say selling water to people from stands. There's a ticket booth to buy if you're going somewhere else. On top of that, there are the Hand of Flames selling different lanterns to people if people need lanterns. And then, wait, is it someone's birthday today? Are you birthday twins?
Raven-minded and I are birthday twins.
Sorry. Stop my speech entirely. What? Amazing. If you're not in our Discord, down below, there's a Discord.
Sorry, I'm just, what?
That is insanity.
Bring the show to the hall. This is more important.
Sorry, that was very important, Raven-minded. Regular within our show than the fans of the citizens of Merrifield. And in our Discord is a fucking same birthday as Kelly. That is insanity.
That's wild.
Anyway. Oh, he's the same age as me. Wait, technically I'm older than Raven-minded.
We are off by 1 year. Because I'm a 1980 baby.
Mm-hmm. It's fucking wild. So when it comes to a halt, Omar says that the train will stay here, obviously, for as long as you need. They'll make their way to the train yard to do final repairs. He wants to look over the engine and their ability to shift planes. It was something that the spirits of the engine told him they could take him, and he didn't believe it. He's like, but then these two odd twins, they were small, short, Penelope and Petunia. They came out of the woodwork, literally out of the woodwork, and told me that the train spoke to them as well. I'm going to go do a little investigation here within the yard, see what I can find out with some of the other engineers that are here. So, everybody off. We're going to have an empty train for the first time in a while. All the citizens that are here, and he picks up the squawk box and says, everybody who's aboard the Tide Runner, I want to welcome you to Cadra, and thank you so much for your time and patience with us leaving Merrifield and coming here under such duress. And then the odd things that happen in between that I would ask you all to not talk about, if possible. We try to keep secrets here tight and close as a family. If you're a part of Merrifield, those secrets are important to everyone's safety, ours, yours, and everyone around. Thank you so much for riding. We will be leaving here and he looks to the group. How many days are we staying for?
You want
to do like a full 2 weeks here in Cadra?
I'm thinking a week or two, because we don't know what we need to find in order for us
Let's
to
do
take
2
care
weeks
of the
then.
souls.
He says, we'll be here for 2 weeks. You're welcome to take any other trains out of here. Merrifield will be back in its common spot. And I would say 3 weeks total. 2 weeks here, 1 week of travel. Thank you so much for joining us on this momentous occasion. And be safe while you're out here in the capital. And he hangs up the box. Omar looks at the group and says, I have research to do in the train yard, but if there's any questions I can answer for you while we are here, I am very happy to do that. Terry, gentleman, friend of yours, he says he's the mayor of Merrifield. Is that correct? Feels self-proclaimed. I didn't know you had a mayor in Merrifield.
With everything he's done for Merrifield, mayor does not sound out of line.
Well, anyway, he's asked you all to join him in the dining car while it is empty. I told him I'd give him 1 hour. Nobody else will be here, but food is ready for you. Oh, Miss Foxglove, I'm glad to see you're healthy. I was told that things were, dangerous, to say the least. At least that's what the spirits said.
Healthy's one way of putting it.
If you do need a checkup, feel free to see the doctor. I myself handle more in the state of the soul in auras than I do physical ailments, but you seem fine. Can I ask you to make sure that Bartleby, when he wanders around here in his suit, coat, and top hat to the T, does not scare the guests as much? Can you teach him some manners, please?
He's very well behaved. I don't understand.
He ate someone's dog the other week. That's not really well behaved.
Well, did the dog deserve it? No, it's okay.
It was in the girl's lap. But don't worry, it was taken care of. Olivia and Howard said that, don't worry, she won't remember it. Also said she was a friend of all of you.
She is under our custody? Like probation?
Wait, she's a prisoner?
More like an extended work release.
1 hour, and he turns around and walks out of the room.
Rip.
Like, I am not gonna deal with that anymore. So 1 hour, and he walks away. So
everyone off the train, exit through the gift shop.
Is that a speaker announcement button? What the fuck was that? I need to set my shit up.
Yeah, I need to get mine fixed and set it up properly.
I need to set that up. I need it for aliens, actually, is why I want it. So as everyone leaves, there's a gift shop outside when you arrive in Cadra, and the city is grand. It is multi-story buildings set on island, right? Yeah, Cadra is on an island, fairly large island. The city takes up roughly a quarter of this oversized island. In the city across is, I believe, if my memory serves, it's almost 100 miles across.
I know we had it divided up into at least 6 distinct
districts.
Districts, yeah.
It is, including farmland, 100 miles across. And the city itself is 45 miles across at the longest point. That's a big city. So for reference, New York is about 13 miles. And I think Chicago is the largest city across. It is 25 miles. So it's almost double the width at the longest point of Chicago from north to south. There are true faith Earth Guard that roam the streets like the Yard does in Merrifield. There are airships flying in and out of port here consistently, with air marshals flying their flags along with traders. Any shop, anything you could imagine that you want to buy is either here legally or illegally somewhere. The locks have a separate area you can go in that take you to the city below. And the city below is covered in tides. They don't get rid of them. They don't move them out. They don't daylight them. But the Vogue, some of the sirens, and some of the less friendly of people who live in Cadra have taken over in the cities. And under the locks, when they raise, there are hanging cities underneath them. And those are covered in daylight. And those are actually considered very high-end living if you are in one of the hanging locks, because when you're plunged below the tides of the daylight, there's like private areas to live in. It's if you've played BioShock, it's like a city under the sea. Is it actually safe? Probably fucking not. But man, the real estate agent was the best ever, and they have been sold that way. And a lot of unsavory people live in those hanging cities as well. The major casinos in there, some of the high-end brothels, which I cannot put in a poll on Twitch, are there as well. As you make your way back to the luxury dining car, because we are way up there in the luxury dining car now, I think we have, let's see here. I think our luxury dining car is up to a +5 now. Yeah. Okay. So any social interactions in the luxury car that you do with somebody else of high status, someone who basically, if they speak High Cadraic and you're doing formal information, I believe we are now at a +5 because 7 cards for it have been played. A +1 bonus for them has been done. We put 5 into the Tide Runner, and the other 3 are at a new luxury restaurant in the city, the Hanky Panky House. Oh, thank you for the sub. I didn't see you, Trickster, sub. Let me gift you a pack. Trickster, do you want a Ethauntia pack or do you want an Ogre Force pack for this Sunday? Your choice. Put it in chat and I will get that out to you. So you walk back. Everyone comes in. This again is made for Thomas. There's a large seating section as well for an Thomas to sit down in the center aisle. And there is food that is brought out. There is a rare gem-infused oil that is brought out that is supposed to stop creaking and hinges and problems with any form of damaged cables that are really hard to get to internally. Everyone is given something to drink. With that said, you all gain 1d10 temporary hit points. And this doesn't sound like it's important, but it probably will be. On top of that, this meal also gives everyone a +1 to will saving throws for the next 24 hours. On the table, Terry has laid out the city of Merrifield, a place in Cadra, areas that are currently under work. His hair is slicked back and pulled into a high top knot. He has those like half bifocals on. As he sets them down and sets them on the table, he is trimmed, not shaven, but trimmed. His beard is in good shape. His goatee and mustache are connected. There is water on the table, and there is some glass of a reddish hued liquid next to him in like a crystal glass. Everyone has been given something to eat and drink. And my roll for memory for what everybody likes was a 19 on the die. So whatever your favorite drink is at the table. If you don't drink, he put down a notebook and a pen, a brand new pen for Nora. And it has the Merrifield name on it inscribed in Hallow. And it has the, like if you're coming in and landing at the air tower where you first all showed up, there is a small skyline of Merrifield in progress engraved in the pen. There are 4 books in the middle of the table that are unopened. When everyone sits, he waits, he nods, he says hi to people, and he's not like quiet or anything. But once everyone gets in and sits down, he looks at the foxglove and goes, "Oh, I see you have a new addition to the Gravelighters. Casil, if you wouldn't mind perimetering the car to make sure no spirits are here, I'd like to make sure we're safe before we get into any discussions here, if you don't mind." He nods, doesn't argue, immediately makes his way out to do exactly what was asked. So for the group, you all sit down. Can I get a perception check from everyone? I think we have the dining car. Didn't we build the dining car? Am I crazy?
We might have built it for
side quest.
Side quest.
I'll look while we're talking.
I'm going to use a hero point.
Yeah, you can refill during the half.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would refill and use a hero point because that was a 4.
Okay.
Good.
That was slightly better. I got 28.
Okay.
14.
28's the high. While he is calm, anyone over a 20 can tell that he definitely has something he desperately wishes to talk about. That there is a issue going on that he is definitely in flux about if he should or should not tell you. After small commentary and just, how are you doing, how everything is going, the first thing he says is I've not stopped drinking. I know that is a concern to everybody. It's not the case, but I've definitely slowed it down. I was in a pretty serious state after being shown the book that you said my mother originally owned. Do you still have that grimoire?
Yes,
It's the mirrored book.
We never got rid of it. I believe Voss might have it in his collection, but we never got rid of it. We never did anything with it.
I think we are going to need that long term.
Do you want it in your possession?
No, I did not realize that my mother was trying to get me to assist you. While I'm not a Gravelighter, I am not at all trained in this. My mother worked with them closely. She was a caretaker in one of the cities. She helped, I think the word is harvest, souls from a lantern and transport them to some form of home. This is obviously when the planes worked properly. Anyone got Gravelighter roll? You can give me a roll on that if you have Gravelighter lore. Or if you have fettering, you can, but you need to be at least a master to know what fettering.
Gravelighter lore. Ooh, I'm rolling a hero point. That was a 1.
Let's not have.
Also a 1.
That's not.
Wow.
You don't know what he's talking about. He says the book gives locations that she used to help harvest souls for the Gravelighters. I think I might be able to help you with your dilemma. And he looks to the lantern inside. I'm assuming Everson you have it in your chest.
Yep.
Be willing to help. And I would like to help. I don't want you to think that we are enemies or anything like that. I know I haven't seen you in so long. I'm sure things have been under question involving me as of late. And he just kind of looks around, waiting for anyone to call him out or say anything or ask questions. And he eyes Foxglove a lot because he doesn't know Foxglove at all. He knows the group, but he's never really met Foxglove because, if those who don't remember, Terry's been gone for 6 episodes.
Yeah, so...
Oh.
Sorry, you can go ahead.
I hate to say it, Terry, but we have been so preoccupied with the events that have just been coming at us one after the other that I haven't taken the time to check up on you or anyone else at Merrifield, and I am sorry.
Well, while I believe you've been busy, you've also had a lot of time off, and there has been no help at the city, really, from any of you. Minus you, Miss Foxglove. I don't know you personally.
I'm sure that we will be fast friends.
Maybe. My trust in people has definitely waned a lot over the years, but I hope that is correct. If you're friends with them, it's a good start. We've accomplished a lot in Merrifield over the last almost 2 years. We've built numerous homes for people. We've got a lectorum. There's an asylum for those that we have found that are not right during all this, especially during the Akata invasion, or the small, I should say invasion, a swarm that we had. We're producing our own salt. Our train is providing supplies for Merrifield and for you all, in money for the city to grow. But Merrifield is struggling. We have a lot of people who ask questions daily about what is what. Why does the city vanish? And while we've explained it as magical phenomenon or the city itself is tied to the Everston estate or so on and so on, we've also had to lie a great deal, and a lot of those lies have fallen on me during meetings and town halls with the citizens of Merrifield. Now, none of you are being forced to be there, but I don't even know where Oliver is. I have not seen him. He has not showed up to a meeting. I don't know much about what happened. I know that we had some false or real king in our stead that passed, and now we get messages from Wolflock Valley constantly saying that we slaughtered a king. Is there any merit to this? Because I've just been saying I don't know what you're talking about.
And this is why I had wanted to go
to save us, and may have perished.
Oliver performed a maneuver to attempt to save us. It did not go as planned.
He hasn't come back, though.
No, he hasn't come back.
And you see him, like, write down something and, like, cross something out, and then he pulls a stamp with ink out and stamps it.
As for this king, I had actually discussed with Oliver going to Wolfwalk and explaining what happened.
We did. He wrote an elegant note and sent it back with the body, along with some, I don't know, something from a family member or something, saying that, the gentleman died helping us, saving Merrifield. I hope you understand the situation that is at hand. The soul is no longer here for us to fetter. Apparently something about a fucking demon on everything. Top of it all, is that right?
Yes, there is a rock.
He looks to Foxglove again, and the look. What is your passive perception, Foxglove?
12.
The look is like you need to bail. Do a barrel roll right
12?
off this train.
12 is your passive?
12.
At
10 plus your total?
Add 10 to your bonus.
Yeah, hit 22.
It is a look of you have signed up with the wrong group.
I mean, Nora thinks that like every couple of days too. I mean, there's no lie.
I know you've all been doing relatively good things. I don't know if they're all good. I don't know. We procured a manor and brought it back into. It's there. It's not in the best repair because it's not been on the docket to finish repairing. Instead, we've built an air tower up and water towers and shops and train yards and everything else under the sun. We need an excuse to tell the people who visit Merrifield when Merrifield goes into the Lantern. We need something. We can't just all tell them, hey, the city leaves for the betterment of good. That doesn't work. Now, I'm going to propose something that no one's going to like. If they are inside the wall and you manifest the city, everyone manifests with it, but they can't leave the boundary of the city. That is what we have learned through test and trial and error. Everyone outside the city can stay. They don't disappear with the city. I vote that we only keep the dead within the walls of the city. So spirits that you bring back, people that you have in the Lantern now, we propagate within the city walls. Then there's no explanation needed. They can't leave. At most, they can tell people who visit when the city is intact. But if you tell everybody that the city vanishes and people have a choice, eventually everyone in the world's going to know. We are in the capital, getting ready to, we just let 700-something people off this fucking train to mill about the capital where the true faith is. And if someone whispers that we are involved in any of the train wreck or anything that fell, we're going to be under fire. Sorry, Miss Foxglove, you were obviously not here for any of this. So I come to you, and I am the self-proclaimed mayor, as Omar said. I can hear him. We got to figure out our story before we step out into the capital of the theocracy. Am I wrong?
Well, one of the stories we told, is technically true. Everston and I explained Merrifield as being a giant reliquary where families, the citizens of Merrifield, could stay together.
Okay, so they're opting in to being able to see their family.
I mean, that's at least what we were able to get one of the lower class carts to.
So is that when they're in the lantern or out? If you want to give me a Gravelighter lore, you can. For how this works, because we have not discussed this on air before. Or I don't even think privately.
Hero point.
All right.
Yeah, privately, I don't think Jess really cared. So.
No, fuck would she give a shit?
I re-rolled a die roll of 4 to a 1.
Wow.
See, you're like,
I shook him.
Spend those hero points.
I shook him.
Fighting me.
I shook him.
I'm shook. This is crazy.
Well, if we don't know what to do with them, I don't disagree with what you just said. It is a giant reliquary, and that is the world. I think we're going to need your friend Voss to director of Expanse some bullshit and hand that over to the theocracy, allowing what we're doing to be legal. And I think we tell the citizens exactly what you said. While we have no purgatory in the world, this is just the mayor speaking, self-proclaimed. I think we tell them that if you wish to visit your family and have days with them, move to us. We don't have to say we're Gravelighters, or you are. We don't have to explain anything other than that. Just that when the town is manifested, if you wish to see your family for a stint of time, come see us. It's the one place in all of the surface, all in Ingrad at least that we know, that spirits don't roam around and murder people within a city. If we can provide that and people can talk and chat with the dead, we might be able to not only bolster our ranks, we might be able to get other people to join the city and live here to help build it up. We have a lot of blank space within the walls. So, I propose, while we are here, we have Voss. I hate when he speaks. We have Voss give a talk on what Merrifield is.
Oh, I'm gonna have to magic shit.
Voss, you're not here. I'm not killing you, but your career, boy, is it in jeopardy.
So
it's all my support.
I feel like, and I can't go through my notes right now, but I feel like between Everston and I, we did some Gravelighter lore and some legal lore when this first happened.
Yep.
And we had come to the, I don't want to say agreement, but our results from our research and putting our heads together basically said that the True Faith didn't have jurisdiction over the
they don't.
Gravelighters.
They don't have jurisdiction, but that doesn't mean they're not going to cause problems. And if they did decide to squash you, there's zero you can do about it.
Okay.
They're just bigger than you. They're just bigger than the Emerald Order. But right now, if you grab a newspaper out of here, Terry would say, people talk about the missing city constantly. Like we are some legend. We vanish one place and disappear and come back later. No one understands it. Now, granted, we live in a world of ghost and uncertainty, but imagine if we could give them a little certainty.
Well, then to expand more upon what we had told the people in our car, we said that the lantern was like a giant reliquary.
Yep.
We had explained that it was very hard to mass, is nearly impossible to mass produce. There were only a few that we know of, and that's why only Merrifield so far is one of the ones that is known of.
He's taking notes the whole time.
Yeah, I don't know if we can spin that somehow to the residents and anyone who might decide to move to Merrifield after this story is released. But for all intents and purposes, it is true. It's like a giant reliquary. It is made with extensive magical energies that cannot be reproduced within any safe efficient manner.
Yeah. So we need the true faith to stand behind what we're doing. I mean, they've already started. And if I remember correctly, we do have an ambassador that is at least friendly with us.
We do.
So, and he closes the book. And it's like, it's a big-ass ledger book where he's like, obviously keeping track of money and everything else. He says, I have a lot of work to do while we're here. I want to formally ask, because we don't know how we do anything in Merrifield. Would you like me to take up the spot as mayor? Or would you like to give it to someone else? I am fine with either. If you have somebody else in mind, I'll work with them, and then I can help in other ways in the city. I'm not leaving the city. I have too much invested. I know I had a stint of issues, but I was left alone to do all of this. And you remember, he did go off the rails when Jin disappeared. That's when everything went sideways, because he had nobody with him. Because he probably kind of blamed himself for Jin becoming a Barghest meal. So out of character, do we know anyone else that you would like to be the mayor?
So out of character, I'm actually going to roll perception to see if Terry actually means what he says about not caring if he's the mayor or not.
Oh, okay.
Because you can say, oh, no, I'm totally fine with it. And then internally you're like, God damn it.
Motherfuckers. You didn't vote on me.
I got a 38.
Yeah, he is honest about it. You can tell he likes the job, but even though you haven't been there for him as of late, he still trusts your old judgment. Maybe not Foxglove because he doesn't know her yet, but everybody else, he's definitely, if you say, yes, we have someone to relieve some of the pressure, great. I mean, or get him a VP. Any form of help.
I mean, that's kind of what I'm thinking. Like, if we... Like, everyone has kind of gone to him as a leader. We've perhaps unfairly made him the de facto leader.
Well, Oliver disappeared and Jin disappeared. So he got fucked for like almost 6 months.
Right. So that being the case, if everyone else is fine with it, I would say you will be the mayor and we will work on getting you a deputy mayor.
What about the lawyer friend of yours that is around on and off? The elf.
I mean, I could talk to him about it.
That would alleviate paperwork that I am not the best at.
If he can't help, he might know someone who can. I say that just because I know that he has his own practice set up on the other side of the veil.
Tell him we will pay him 1,000 a year.
I will let him know that as well.
Where's Oliver?
We don't know. Oliver made a decision.
I don't care. Other than that, you don't know where he is, then I have no way to slap him around. He left me with some bad information before he decided to saunter the fuck off.
In his defense, I think he thought it was a good decision in the heat of battle.
And you're probably right, it was, but I wasn't there for it. There is some stuff going on wherever it is he's originally from. I know he talked about it. His mother also spoke about it. I had dinner with them briefly during recovery. If we bring Oliver back here to help us, that war will be considered won. That is going on wherever that is. His words, his mother's words. Apparently, he has claimed himself as the rightful heir or something. I don't know. I didn't ask the details. So, the ship that is crashed outside of Merrifield and burning next to the Sunbury Winery is ours to do whatever we want with. That's the good news. The bad news is, do you all know about the berries and the spirits that are locked into them?
Yes.
We made the call to gather them all, and we have them here. They're in one of the flat cars. I don't know what you can do with them, but I have a feeling the reason we were attacked traveling through is because of those relics. I think the amount of soul essence that was in the open caused the unfortunate circumstances. And he points to Foxglove like it's an apology that he didn't know was going to happen. Like, I didn't know we would draw a war to the train by having a bunch of spirits on a train here.
Does that track, though, with what we found out about the haunt?
I mean, it's feasible it could have manifested it, but this is definitely Terry's opinion. Terry and whoever he's been talking with during all this shit. Omar, could be Gandhi, could be Khaled, it could be anyone. It's not an uneducated guess.
Right.
If you have fettering, you can give me a fettering roll. If you have, I'll allow a Gravelighter roll, but it'd be pretty hard. Or actually, the best roll for this is occult or occult.
I'd be interested in rolling occult.
Give me a roll, Foxglove.
I got a 26.
Okay.
Woo! 35.
Okay. That is way above what I was expecting. That gives you a critical, and then Kelly would have gotten a success. So I'm going to give you a tidbit of information, and you can spill it out or keep it to yourself. It is totally up to you. Kelly's, I'm assuming Kelly will just share the information?
Yeah.
Okay. And which skill did you go with for your roll?
I went with occult.
Okay. Oh, you want occult too? Yeah. So occult, you would know that it is feasible that a mass amount of spirits would draw them out. But the train runs on them, and you're pretty sure a combination of the relic that Francis had and the spiritual energy of the ship could have caused it. Okay. Chief, if you've not been around for the occult fight, there's a shirt literally right now sitting in Stream Elements waiting to be approved by them to put out it is, as I said, how to pronounce occult the proper way since 57 AS. For Foxglove,
one of our biggest supporters, and you're just making a shirt to taunt her.
She started the fight. I'm escalating it to shirt value. You can pick your side. I know it's a cult. I know that. What did you guys do with the frame while I'm answering Foxglove here?
We put it in the manor. Remember, we called up Nero, and Nero was like, "Oh yeah, I can put that in the area with all the other haunted items. There's like 120 something in there."
We're gonna make the haunted antiques shop.
Yeah,
that's right.
Series.
That's right. It's inside the Everson Manor.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Excuse me, not haunted, cursed.
That's how I would explain it. You did spawn a shirt. I think it's super cool. I was hoping it'd be up tonight. It's so fucking cool looking. Well, it'll probably be live after the show. That's how it'll happen.
Yeah, last episode you mentioned it'd be that Friday, so Stream Elements was supposed to be really fun with it.
No, Friday I put it up, and then I noticed there was a mistake in line work, and I redid it this weekend and put it up for Monday. A layer wasn't active that needs to be there for it. Otherwise, it only has occult spelt phonetically.
Oh.
And I mean phonetically the O way, not UH way. So that's the information you would have, Allie, with the extra stuff. Like, it would definitely make it stronger.
Okay.
If you have other questions, feel free to ask them or talk about them out loud and I will answer them for you. I don't care. I just don't know if you would share it.
Oh, yeah. She would speak up and just say, with all due respect, Mayor. I was up close and personal in that haunt, in that attack, and I was able to identify, beyond a shadow of a doubt, the artifact that was causing that incident.
Do you still have it?
Foxglove would not actually know, so she would turn and look at Nora and Everston. Did you all happen to see anything interesting in Francis's car after I left?
There was an object that had some bullet holes in it.
That's the one.
We were able to piece together that caused the
mirror.
we were able to piece together that is at least partially the trigger for the haunt, and so we didn't have time to dispose of it properly because of what had happened with you, but we did store it in a relatively safe place, I believe. Everston?
It is secure in the manor. Do not attempt to approach it unaided. It is constantly active, but it is secure.
Okay.
All of that.
Hey, Terry goes, he opens the book back up and writes down some notes. He goes, then I feel better knowing that that's not the case. We brought the spirits along and the berries because it seemed like the right choice to bring them here.
I wouldn't say it was the wrong choice, but you're not too far off the mark. You see, while I believe that item is what originally manifested the haunt, keeping that concentration of souls in one area, well, things can probably get a little risky. I think it would be diligent before traveling again to maybe do a bit of an inventory on the items and artifacts that you bring onto your train.
Yeah, well, it's not my train. It is Omar's, is the conductor. And if you were to scan every object that came on here and go through them all, the train would never leave the goddamn station. So, it is what it is. I think because this is a spirit engine, fettered, and not a coal or, what is the Azure engines or even a Tides engine, you run into problems. Here nor there. I'm glad to hear that it wasn't our fault. I felt bad for a moment. So, we have a little bit of time left. We're all here in Cadra. I think we have Voss have a speech or talk with the True Faith. Tilda should be here as well. We should meet up with her at some point. Before any of that, he kind of looks around and then looks at the lantern again. He goes, what about all the extras? What are we doing? I've been brought up to snuff by either Casil or Jin, depending on the day.
That's why we're here.
Is there something you can do here with them?
We think there might be a way to transfer some of them. I'm not entirely sure. Otherwise, there's some discussion of transferring some of them over to the True Faith. I'm not 100% sure, but Everston had told us this would be a good starting point.
He looks to Everston and he's like, and why?
I'll give him the proper explanation. I'm not going to hold anything back from Terry because he's
So what are you telling them? Because the audience doesn't know. You can tell them why you're here. We've never discussed this on air. Never discussed it on a Friday either.
Well, where to begin?
I would start with the graveyard. I would start there. That would be where I would start. A place to drop off the souls. Cannot believe we're going all the way back to this. Go ahead and talk about it. I can hear you. I'm grabbing something. I'm walking off camera for a minute.
I really don't know how to start this. Kelly's our lore person. Maybe she should do it because she's way better at remembering all this stuff than me.
Who's got Gravelighter lore?
Lillian's I'm new here.
This is my 5th day on the job, you guys. I have no idea what I'm doing.
I just died like yesterday.
Stop. Fiona's freaking out here because I've been doing stuff. Not you guys. So,
well, Emerson, I'm pretty sure you've done a roll to try and figure out like where the best. Oh, there we go.
That goes way back.
Yeah, I've got 2 notebooks upstairs with all my notes from Jess.
This is just covered in tabs,
including her backup coffins that she never told you guys about.
Do you remember this?
Yeah.
For the political votes.
OBS gives me such garbage.
Yeah, when we were trying to figure out like who we were gonna keep and who we were gonna kill.
I mean, we were not the proper type of Gravelighters. We found out afterwards.
No.
Like we were basically assassins. But,
So
when Eric says build your characters like you're gonna play Assassin's Creed, we're all gonna take it to heart.
Everybody heard assassin and did that. Yeah.
I mean, you did exactly what I was wanting. You did nothing wrong. So, which one of you wants to talk about it? Do either one of you remember about, the short of it?
So, out of character, the short of it is that within one of the graveyards in Cadra, underneath in the mausoleum or whatnot, there's actually a giant, I don't want to say machine, but like a giant device or a giant artifact where Gravelighters will go, take their full lantern, and then hook it up. Almost like, the way that I'm envisioning it is like those canisters from Dishonored where you like put it into the machine to like fill them up with the whale oil. It's like that, but in reverse. Where you take the lantern, you put it in, and then the device underneath the graveyard draws out the souls to empty it out to basically make more room so the Gravelighters can go out and continue reaping souls.
There's a key piece that you're forgetting. One Gravelighter has to stay inside to decide who stays and goes.
Right, Jess never really cared about that, so.
I think you guys let Cole do it last time.
We did let Cole do it last time, so.
It's the containment unit from Ghostbusters and the lantern of the trap.
Right.
I mean, sure, yeah, that could be how you view it as well. It's a great movie. I am not going to argue that. It is not that thing, but yes. I don't think they're put in purgatory and given a city to live in, but all right.
No.
All right. So, with that said, Terry goes, so you can empty the souls that we gathered from the Barghest.
We believe so, yes, but we have to secure an introduction of some sort, potentially figure out exactly where we need to go, because in character, I don't think we actually know much of this. I think Everston probably knows the most, but...
I do know there is a few locations that we may be able to do this.
Take the grimoire. Take the grimoire. Take it with you. My mother had access to these spots. Maybe that'll grant you access. I mean, the lantern should help, but I've never seen one until I saw yours. I don't know what's real and what's not, and how many of you there are.
Well, thank you. We'll take good care of it.
Yeah. Well, he looks at the table, and he's eaten nothing I don't know how many people actually ate. Maybe Foxglove has eaten during this because she was locked away and probably fucking starving. I have nothing else to ask. Other than get Voss to make everything subtle, but we do need to come up with what we're telling all the townsfolk. I like the idea that we spoke of. I'm going to give you all the last 15 to talk amongst yourselves. I feel that privacy is important, especially in your situation. The less we know, the less we can be questioned on. Yeah, and he closes everything up. Like you can see he's kind of looking for anything else that he would maybe have to tell the group. And he just kind of grabs all of his stuff, picks it up, and then he pulls a box out from the side. And it's a pretty like from the floor next to him, and he sets it on the table. This is what I've been doing. I've gathered up, gathered up some objects for you. Hopefully these will help. My mother recommended I get them. When I left for a while, I went back to Moldavia, where my family is from, and I gathered things from our home. I have no use for them. It's not my style. If I'm going to be a mayor, I don't need any of it. But the rest of you might. There should be enough stuff in there for all of you, including you, Foxglove, if you were traveling with these associates. And he like pauses, like he was gonna say friend, and then he remembers that nobody besides like Nora stopped by for a little bit, did anything. So he's like, associates. Watch each other's backs, because there ain't nobody else who can watch yours, and I think y'all know that. I'll see you in 2 weeks. I'm going to gather up some supplies and hopefully some new contacts we can use in Merrifield. And he gets up and walks away from the table. Unless anyone else has anything else to ask him. He's kind of done his dump of 6 months on you. And he does stop. He's like, am I the mayor or not?
You are.
Oh, okay.
Unless you don't want it.
Just find me someone to help.
I put my hand on his shoulder.
Oh, he stops.
We appreciate everything you're doing for Merrifield. It's above and beyond. And
give me. Oh, go ahead. You what?
And we want you to know we have your back. I know we're absent sometimes, but what we do is for the good of Merrifield.
He takes a deep breath. Give me a persuasion roll. This may be the most important persuasion roll y'all have made in 2 seasons.
Well, here's Todd showing me up. Because I was going to do a thing.
26. Which is.
Are you good with that? Is anyone here
17 on the die
aiding you?
I would be happy to.
And what do you say to aid to the man that you barely know?
She'll just. I mean, she would just go, it was lovely meeting you, and maybe do like a little I'm fancy wink.
I'm fancy wink. I have no idea what the fuck that means, but
rich people.
Since I've met them, these people have had nothing but high praise for you, Terrence. And if they're that fond of you, I know I will be so.
Fancy wink, and then
fancy wink, and the finger guns fancy wink.
So what I was going to say
well,
was
that's the next shirt.
You broke
me. And fancy wink. I was going to go something completely different, but if we want to go with the fancy wink
and
aid, we can.
Fancy wink.
Fancy wink.
Shirt. All right. That's Allie's job. Allie, is there any dandy powers you want to slap on top of that?
I mean, yes. That was
just told.
Obviously, that was distracting wink. Flattery. Obviously.
Seal the deal by slapping him with your dandy.
So here's my question to you. Are you aiding him or just rolling?
I was just going to aid.
I think you're a better talkie. Give me a roll. We'll if you roll enough to aid but not higher than him, we'll let it be an aid roll. If you blow him out of the water, you're re-cementing friendship.
For diplomacy?
Yeah. I mean, unless you want to lie.
Friendship between Terry and Everston canceled. Friendship between
Hero point.
Terry
Hero
and
point.
Foxglove.
Point. Well, no, because I have distracting flattery, what that does is if any of my party members make a social blunder, I distract away from that with flattery. That's what it is.
Oh my god.
Fancy wink.
Fancy wink.
And I hero pointed that, by the way, for a 26. For the same number.
Wasn't that good of a fucking roll? He stops. He doesn't turn around. And he goes, "Thanks, Everston." And that's all he says and continues walking.
Okay, so now I'm going to do what I was going to do.
Kill him?
Nora.
Don't leave town.
Yes, Nora. Terry, we can't. You're
arrested.
You're person of interest
crime scene.
You're the person of interest for the next 24 hours. No, so Nora's actually going to gather
crime scene.
gather the notebook and the pen, and she's actually going to offer to help him out.
Of what?
Like gathering
the car?
his
Like
stuff.
walk him out?
Well, yeah, because he's gathering his stuff.
He picks it up and puts it in a satchel and takes it with him. Besides the chest he left on the table for all of you.
Okay, well, Nora's going to follow. Wow, Nora's going to continue following anyway because she doesn't want to say this part in front of Foxglove.
Okay.
Because she's going to give her own apology. Like, I'm going to say it in front of Allie, but in front of Foxglove, Nora wouldn't say it because she doesn't really talk about that much in front of the other Gravelighters either. So she follows Terry out, and she's like, "Terry, I also want to apologize to you. I was dealing with family issues."
Yeah. And?
My son is back.
Oh, good for you.
We here at Merrifield are the real family.
It's a bit different when he's now older than me. In a dead body, like me.
Well, that's, I guess, something, right? You still have family.
You do too.
No, I don't. This is what he says.
She wanted to see you. Like, she wanted to be with you.
Yep, I do not trust. And neither should you. Why would you trust that? Think about it. Here, as a matter of fact, hold on. You wanted one-on-one, you got one-on-one. Why would I at all trust her? I'm assuming like a hand on his shoulder. He's like near the door leaving. He has not turned. He has not made. He didn't like shrug you off or anything like that, but he's being very honest.
Sometimes you need faith, because if you don't have it, it can go down a very different path.
Oh, faith. The thing that did nothing for me any time in my life.
It didn't do much for me when I lost my wife and son.
Well, you still don't have faith. I don't see any true faith symbols on you.
I don't see any on you either.
Because I don't follow it.
Well then. Guess we're not that different after all.
Are you innuendoing this conversation?
Yeah.
I need... Okay, first off, boy, this is a heavy fucking rewind. Have you ever started an investigation on Terry?
I believe so when we first started. Just because I was trying to figure out like who he was, like what happened.
Would you have that book on you, though?
I have a copy of all my case files in my satchel.
I will get as you like thumb through it with one hand, like you know, sparking memory, and you feel the spine of that journal. I need you to roll me a perception with investigation on Terry.
Okay. Spending a hero point on that. That's my second one for the second half. Okay, that's better. That's a 36.
Wow. Okay, I wasn't.
I got a plus 22 with my investigation, so.
Do you want this public? Yeah, fuck it. We're doing a public. We're gonna end the show this way. Fuck this. I'm ending the show this way. Terry looks back to you, and when his eyes are one way, you notice that the edge of his eyes on the inside have black tendrils in them.
Okay.
And he turns back and he says, "Oh yeah, what are you following? Something else?" And he turns and makes eye contact, stops, not hostile, but he's intrigued.
Someone that sparks memories from a past life.
Mine's not. Mine's current now. But I'll tell you, she is not happy.
I don't know how to fix that.
Jin has something that she wants. Give it to me, I'll deliver it. Everything will be a wash. I have no ill towards you. She knows that. But she saved me from the bottomless well where I found her. So, you give me the sword, I'll deliver it to her, and this will be clean. You can go get it right now. No harm to you or anyone from her. She just wants to live like the rest of us.
Sense motive.
Sure.
On him.
Can I get a perception check from the other people? You need a 30 to hear any of this conversation.
Yup.
Perception?
Yup.
Yeah.
Missed it by just a hair.
I'm going to hero point it.
You don't need to roll it. You're standing in front of him. Nora, this is for them to overhear the conversation.
Right, no, I was rolling to see if he was...
Oh, lying?
His sense motive.
Yeah.
That's a 34.
I need an audience member to roll me a d20, please. I already have his DC, but this is for something else. Someone in the audience for Terry. I wish Sabrina was here to see this so much.
What happened? Well, Terry died.
Terry is not dead. What did you get? What did you get, Foxglove? Oof. I'm spending a hero point. Roll again.
22.
22? Okay. You spending a hero point on your 22?
I already did, and I got the same number.
Trickster, roll again, because Terry's spending a hero point.
Yeah, roll again. He's spending a hero point. He has wait, actually, does he have 3? He has a possibility of getting 3. He does have 3.
Well, he got a 7.
He looks up to you. He is not lying. And when he looks up, you see the black. You also see the marks on his arm as he kind of pulls the sleeve up to show you. And he's got black scales underneath his half-orc skin. They're like, they move and shift like from left to right, like the rows do. He goes, I'm not lying to you. I know the look. I've dealt with you enough. Give me the weapon. Broken. It's fine. She does not want it repaired. And I will get her off of your case.
Last time I dealt with her, she tried to have Oliver kill me.
He taps, not pokes, but like taps, like open like this, taps where you have your brand. All of it. Won't hunt your keeper either. It's a good deal. we go about our business like normal. And then I don't have to be attached to her forever.
I'll see what I can do. I actually don't know where it is. Which is true. Nora doesn't know where it is anymore. So
that's fair. And he puts his hand out to shake.
Nora is very much more the lawful part of Lawful Good, so she's going to shake it.
One last perception check from the audience. Not from the audience, sorry, from the cast, and then one from Nora as well. As we close out tonight. Oh, I did not think we were going to get to do this episode. I really thought we were going straight to the cemetery.
No, spending my last hero point because that was bullshit.
And what did you say you got, Foxglove?
29.
Okay.
That's a lot better.
Need a 30.
36.
Okay, you're good. You're point blank. You don't need to. What about...
Well, you said I needed to roll for something.
You need to roll, yeah. Same thing, perception. What do you got there, Everston?
34.
Okay. Hold on. Everston, please. Do you have Discord up? Are you able to check your Everston Todd?
Yes.
There you go.
Oh.
I will give you one action before we close the session. What do you want to do? Play it cool or say something.
I slowly raise my hat box shield. And I say... Incoming.
Incoming.
Terry would look at you puzzled, like, what? And make contact with Nora, like, what? And that is, I guess that's where we're ending this. Oh my God, Voss, I'm so sorry this is what you're going to step into when we come back.
What? Did my perception check matter at all? Like, because he told me I had to roll. So.
Yours is a little different, Nora. I will send you it. Let's see here. It's a little different. Yeah.
She does a reverse handshake and puts it into a half Nelson.
I will be kind enough to end it on the handshake and him saying that. I'm fine with that. I wasn't expecting any of you to do this.
Oh, no, I expected that. Never mind. All right.
Okay. Well, I don't know if Everston is saying the other part.
Oh, okay. It's bees.
Oh,
yeah, it's bees.
Should I say it?
That is 100% up to you.
Let's break the suspense and just form a cliffhanger right now.
I mean, I'm not calling this call. That's up to you. I know that when Drew gets to the end, he's going to lose his shit if you do.
All right, so I'll raise that shield and I will point and say,
incoming, Lady of the Tides.
If you all look outside, is that what you're pointing to? If you all look outside, yeah. The shadow of the train is one of the shadow dragon as the Lady of the Tides emerges from underneath the Tide Runner.
I literally just shook on trying to get the sword for her too.
You did. And the city doesn't make a noise about it. There's no screaming. There's no sirens. There's nothing. And we'll start there for our next show. I really thought we were just going to go to the graveyard tonight. My plans in my book were not me pulling out this book that has all the stats from the Lady of the Tides from when we played. So, I
hope
we're not fighting
heal
a
our
fucking
emotional
dragon.
damage, not extend it.
I hope we're not fighting a dragon next week, because that's not what I have planned. But yeah, he's shook on the deal. Nora, he's 100% with you. He believes in it. He is not being shady.
Yeah.
This
So
is
when
not him.
when I rolled, I didn't explain it very well. Like when I rolled, it was partially to see if he was lying, but also partially to see like if he was lying to himself or if he actually believed.
He 100% believes. Yeah.
That's why.
Yeah, Terry is not lying to you at all. He does feel let down. I don't say betrayed. He doesn't feel betrayed. He just feels let down because he had to go way outside of the group to get help in a way that he would never have wanted to. But he would definitely go to Lady of Tides over his own mother. So that's it for tonight, everybody. Thank you for joining us. Lots of cards played, but don't worry. You don't have to wait long for us. We'll be back on Friday with our town hall, and we will be back Sunday, full cast, +1 Adam Khan.
Yeah.
For
Red
Ogre
checking
Force. So Ogre Force will be next week. If you missed the first episode, it's up on our YouTube. It is a fucking riot. There are stream loot cards for Ogre Force as well. One of them, and my favorite, is the actually, which is where you get a +1 added to whatever fucking roll it is you have, as we all used to do during first edition. Tonight was a suspense. Could have gotten sinister really, really bad if things were found out earlier. I'm sorry for sweating bullets. But hey, you made it back to Cadra. You know that you need to go to the Gravelighters Guild and figure out how to get rid of some of these souls. But beforehand, you may have something horrible to deal with lying under the train. Maybe.
Lillian just wants to see her snakes.
Oh, yeah, you're in your home city. Don't worry.
I would like to stop by my house, yes.
Here. Yeah. Nora owns a house here as well. But that is it from us tonight. Thank you for joining us. One Voss less. We have a lot of information coming out in the next couple of weeks. Hopefully, I'll be able to show off our dice here soon. I'm super excited for them. They're super pretty. I can't. There will be a pre-order for the dice as a heads up. And if the occult shirt somehow comes up tonight for some reason, like because it still says pending, I will post a link in our announcements in our Discord, the link down below, or ! Discord in our chat. Nice suspenseful show, everybody. I was hoping Drew would be here for this, but I almost like it better that he has to learn this secondhand, because he will lose his shit. For
Drew,
those who
you're
want
going to
to
be face palming the entire episode.
Oh yeah, he's just gonna rest his head in his hands the entire. He's gonna have this the entire time. For those who are interested in tomorrow, I will be on Norse Foundry tomorrow doing setups for Alien Connections. So if you're interested in seeing what the new Wednesday show is going to be, like I told Scott in chat earlier, it's going to be Alien Fugitives, where you play the fugitive running from the Blade Runner on Monday. And I can't wait to see how much you muck up Mondays by just playing a character. Different style, different show, but don't worry, you're still helping me prep the live show, but just by playing out your own. If you want to see what that's like, join me on Friday when we do our next Penny Dreadful or a Lysynthia Dreadful after our town hall. We start at 7:30 on Friday night, and it lasts about 2 to 3 hours, depending on how long the town hall section goes. Cards are in there right now. And thank you so much for joining us tonight. I don't have anything else. Does anyone else have anything to announce? There's no more charity streams, anything crazy, right? Anything like that?
Be sure to tune in for the side quest where Nora goes to complain to the Lady of the Tides manager.
I
don't know if she has a manager.
Well, Nora's
really
going to pull a
wanna see
Karen and find one.
Oh my God. What did you say, Allie?
I just said I really want to see that. Also, Ladies of D&D did finish up our charity fundraiser, but we're
nice.
actually
What was the
going to
final
be running
number?
a T-shirt fundraiser
cool.
with Bean Dip, the toad, on it, and it's really cute. And it says "Bean Dip, take the wheel." So if you guys want that, all proceeds will. Also...
It doesn't say Bean Dip is my co-pilot.
No, it says "Bean Dip, take the wheel."
Bean Dip's the frog. How do you How can he be a pilot? He can't read.
Yeah, he can take
Jesus
the wheel.
is
though,
my
if it's small
co-pilot.
enough.
There was a whole riff on that.
No, I know. That's why. But also, Jesus, take the wheel. Bean Dip, take the wheel.
Were
Bean
you
Dip
guys
can
driving
probably
something?
drive.
Is that how that started?
No. It was Bean Dip got very, very popular very fast.
Bean Dip got very popular very quickly.
I didn't get to see the whole show. That is fucking hilarious. Yeah. So, happy birthday to the birthday girl and boy. Even though I don't know if Raven stopped by yet. Happy birthday to him as well.
Birthday twins.
And yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow at 5 for some Alien prep on Norse Foundry. Oh, do you? Oh, drop your link.
Yeah. Like I promised last episode, I made a new shirt design, and I'm selling it. I started up my Public site. Here is the link in chat.
Already got it. Oh, we doubled down.
Oh, nice.
Ain't back.
I have my old design, the crit magnet, that is on there as well, but the new one is an haiku ode to the D12.
I'm so stupid. I didn't realize it was a haiku until you told me. I was like,
I wrote it like a decade ago, like 12 years ago, I think. I wrote it. And it's just been in the back of my mind, like, I gotta do something with this. So I made it into a shirt, notebooks, stickers,
it's
magnets.
Beautiful.
It's a magnet. Dude, that's a perfect magnet, actually.
Yeah.
And because the accountability helped me so much, like say, hey, I'm gonna have this done in 2 weeks, it's a good deadline to work on. I'm gonna say the same thing. Next episode, not Ogre Force, but 2 weeks from now, I will have another shirt.
I don't know. I think we need a actually t-shirt. I'm just saying.
Oh my God, yes.
Actually +1. But yeah,
I have
that's
a list
awesome.
of about a dozen to make here that I've just sat on for a long time. So it's like, okay, I gotta get these out.
That's awesome.
Into the world.
Yeah, I'm excited. We have a lot going on. My month is crazy. It's gonna be super busy. I can't wait. There's so many new shows, so many new things, and I think the cast has decided after this season ends, what we're gonna do is like a little break in between to play, which is gonna be pretty awesome. Also, I get to maybe play Evil. I never said that.
I said that.
Never said that. Just gonna make Olivier. So yeah, that's it for us. So I'll see you Wednesday at 5:30, Friday at 7:30, and Sunday for good old Ogre Force at 6 PM CST. I'm so excited. Ogre Force is so fucking crazy. But yeah, that's it. No, we're actually leaving. We dragged on tonight. I blame
for sure.
I blame somebody. I don't know who it is, but it isn't me. Good night, everybody.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Thank you for watching us tonight. I hope you enjoyed this very dark and detailed show as everything went sideways for the cast. We will be back here, like I said, Wednesday at 5:30 over on Norse Foundry. We'll be here Friday at 7, I'll say, 7:30 for our Town Hall and Lysynthia Dreadful. And we'll see you Sunday for Ogre Force Episode 2 at 6:30 p.m. CST. Good night, everybody. Good night. That is what is known as a Midwestern goodbye, in case you didn't know.